See your streaming yet?
On the side of my car.
Zach Hall, the two-time winner here at Martinsville, himself in a big field.
Just wanting to finish.
That's right. All the laps.
Ken Campbell, 8th, 9th. It's the fill-in driver, Dalton Alexander, and Jacob Grant.
I mean, but if I get an opportunity, I'm going for stage here. But
yeah, absolutely.
Tony Brent will be 13th with Brian Wilson and 14th. Nick Holland will start 15th with David McConnell in 16th.
Take it easy.
William Duff will be in 17th with Philip Chavez and 18th.
Where did Valve Lash come from?
Champ Cameron Sarton, and 20th will be the 94 of Joshua Altis.
21st position's the 10 of Jay Beckert.
I was trying to think of a name
Jonathan Burt.
and make it race oriented and just working on motors and stuff and setting the valve lash and on a motor. I was like, that's a cool name, so I'll just use that.
Okay, gotcha. There you go.
John Dark going to be in 25th position.
There's always some kind of a story behind names.
27th is Alex Jones.
Mine's a nickname that I've had my entire life.
Lynch with seeing Christopher Melton, Curtis Malechka, and Peter Dillon going to be your last three drivers. 31 drivers in total going to be racing here tonight. And with that large of a field, I think a lot of drivers going to be knowing.
When my grandfather and my father were alive, and we were all together in the same area, if somebody ever said, "Hey, Pete, come here," all three of us would, go to wherever we thought we were needed. So my father had the bright idea to come up with Big Pete, Little Pete, and Repeat, and yeah, that's how Repeat stuck for me.
We've seen it in real life racing. We've seen it throughout the course of the season. Lap traffic can be difficult. And here at Martinsville, with it being one groove, lap traffic might be something these leaders have to watch out for.
As the base car starts rolling off, these drivers are going to be given 2 laps of pacing here this evening. Tonight's race is going to be a total of 200 laps in total. We do have a state.
Pretty funny, everybody comes running.
For the top 10 drivers, bonus points. We've given no fast repairs and 4 extra sets of tires in pit road for tonight's race. But the bad
Foot cam ain't working, so y'all don't get to enjoy my feet.
What the aggression level is going to be for these drivers in the early going. Are they going to test the limits?
Darn if you have a foot fetish, I tell you.
Before the storm of the second half of this race.
Interesting to see. And then what happens if we get a caution, somewhere around lap 40 before the stage break? Are we going to see tire strategy?
All right, Mr. McCann, lights on the pace car are out. Good luck, sir. Light them up and see what we can get.
Get ready. And rear bumpers beat up by the end of tonight.
I just put my brake bias back, so we're good.
Okay.
Stock car racing, and drivers got some bumpers to be utilized. They got fenders to squish. And it's time for us to give you all the racing action here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Thank you so much for joining with us here on your Tuesday.
Oh, he missed a shift.
Race number 10 about to be rolling here.
No, I think he got caught sleeping.
Martinsville.
There's a big accordion effect, a lot of wreck in the back.
We're green.
Yeah, the 39 straight missed a shift in the third.
Oh, man.
The field, as they did.
Let me take a look at your nose. I don't think you hit.
I don't see any on the back of him, so.
Okay.
To get themselves pointed.
Yeah, I think I'm good. Let me see what it's idling at.
Yeah, you're good.
Involved in that.
You're fine. Not even a dent.
Gotten spun around, and I think it was a little bit of a bad start from the top line of Brandon Pierce. They kind of spun the tires and checked up the top line.
Idle is 2,000.
Kind of accordion.
There you go.
Saw the one-on-one with Philip Chavez with a little bit of front end damage, but damn, we didn't even make it to turn 1 and already under caution.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of.
I did forget to switch it to sequential.
That restart, and it just looked like there was so much of a gap built up between each car. They were not stacked properly for this restart. As the field just
looking there, good there.
Or how they wanted this restart to attack. You're starting to see a little bit of gaps being built up for how they wanted to go for the restart.
Can you take a look at my front end
it didn't work out as well as they were hoping.
Did we even make it to turn 2?
No.
I know about the front end.
One of those things here on the rear are really easy to have issues. You can kind of see.
I thought it might go like this tonight.
Everybody trying to get.
Well, once you had to check up everybody behind you on the high side, just nowhere to go.
I think some of us are going to be
classic Martinsville.
around the pace car because
the chain
Thanks, Dale.
One driver makes a mistake.
Pace car was all the way down pit road.
The driver in front of you, gas it up. You don't give yourself enough time.
Yeah, I thought I was done for on that back stretch, but then, just like any super speedway,
reaction just building
big change of events
as each car gets collected
down the front stretch.
Mm-hmm.
And utterly, we got to see that incident, the balloon down where Joshua Altis was, spun around, bringing out our first caution, didn't even get to get one lap in the books. Instead, the field gets to stack back up.
It's still
Get
there.
ready for another restart, and
It's still there.
this is the one thing that kind of gets a little nerve-wracking with short track racing is you never know what you're going to get yourself into. If there's a chance of a long green flag run, or if this race can turn into a caution fest
All right, man, we're
tonight.
going green.
We're
Next
hoping
time
maybe
by.
that's just
All right,
one
man.
mistake,
Line
and they
up on
can
the
kind of
outside
grow
road
from
now.
this. That one mistake,
A single file we cart. Oh, we ain't even
All
got
right,
to the
man.
pace car.
Like it back on the
That's
pace
what I'm
car.
saying.
We're
Yeah,
not going green this time. We are
the
not
back
going
half of the
green.
field they never
All right,
went back
man.
around.
Like it
On
back on
these
the pace
restarts,
car. We're
everybody's
not
trying to
going
get
green
every
this time.
position
We
they
are
can
not
when you're
going
this
green.
bunched up. And
Pit road is closed.
further on back in the pack, guys trying to use first gear to get a good
Now they're
balance.
going.
Maybe a little bit of wheel spin, trying to time it right. I think back there, same, and further in the back, you got to be a little bit patient. Maybe go for the second gear restart.
Pace car just needs to stay on the track.
Hopefully we can get that cleaned up on this restart.
as drivers have been given one lap extended on our caution, trying to give enough time for drivers that were going to take a wave around. Because of the time of the yellow, the way that it came out, some drivers
All right,
never
man, we're
crossed
going
the
green.
line
Next time by.
before the yellow flag came out, which forced them to be in front of the leaders once the pace car caught up. So now we're hoping that this gets everyone cycled to the right position as the pace car lights are off. We're going this time by as the field finally is able to close back in. Everyone should be back on the lead lap.
All right, watch
And
out for the
31
checkup here,
drivers
boys.
entered tonight. 31 going to be expected for this restart.
Get ready.
Just our first caution in the books, but let's see if we can get
The
some
pace
green
cars
flag
in.
racing. Who can really solidify themselves up front? As you look at past races, the driver that gets the pole usually leads the most laps
can I get
and
it?
then finds themselves in a victory lane. Will tonight be the same story? Christopher
green,
Norris
green.
is hoping so to get his second win this season. Pace car is in pit road. Let's try
We
this
just
restart
did a
one more time as the next level
41.589
racing 200 is
inside.
back
Stay
underway.
high. There's the car on
Yeah,
the low side.
great restart there from Norris. Got a good
Stay
jump
high.
in the box. Brandon Colley looks like he's going to clear the 39 of Brandon Pierce, and Brian McCann's going to be side by
Stay
side. That's
high.
going to be the battle for third. That's going to be where we're seeing everybody side by side behind them.
That we
McCann
can
trying to get
bump
clear of
left
that 39. Zach Hall
You're in
battling
third
Chris Stitz
Stay
for
high. The
fifth
car
and
in
sixth
C,
position. That
one,
bottom line
just
trying to
hit the
prevail,
top
but the
left.
outside gets a pretty good run.
19.8,
That being the 8 of
7.
McCann on the 39 of Brandon Pierce.
McCann trying to find that little bit
Still
of extra
there.
grip on the outside groove, but it's going to be difficult. That outside lane is so hard to find that acceleration that you need on the exit of
That
the
we can
corner.
Clear.
left of
Yes,
position.
Not clear.
on
Stay
the exit
high.
on the outside wall being right there.
The
Zach
car in
Hall
C,
not wanting to
You will be clear behind the 32. There you go.
right in between the drivers. They'll keep the nose and the aggression in return number one. It's the 8 machine, 32, trying to keep it.
Caution to
out as Joshua Alton.
Joshua Alstis somewhere in the back.
This time off the exit of turn 4.
Now I get to start on the bottom.
Tough start
Yep.
to the night for the 94 of Joshua Altus, being involved in our first two cautions of the night, and I think he got a little bit of help.
First lap or two on the outside felt pretty good. I was like, man, I might be able to pull him on the outside, but then
Looks like the
tire got hot or something.
Now open.
Yeah, I was going to suggest pinching him down, but
Yeah, and that little bit of help.
because it looked like he was holding a pretty good line,
Look, as
I-
you see there, spun.
I don't
Ryan Lynch
I didn't quite trust it.
Being sent to the rear end, as that was the 6 that got into the back bumper of Joshua Altus being burnt. And Altus being spun around, hates to get more damage already, but luckily we're at a short track and get some damage and still be at almost.
Can you see what the track temp is?
coming
Yep, sure can.
Get some of that optional repairs done. No drivers would require
It is 68.
bang if you're going to be finding yourself being knocked out of this race on just one incident.
68 track 65 weather.
As a lot of the drivers are involved in that first caution and the second, finally able to come into pit road.
Yeah, get these
3 mile per hour wind. Sim time 8:06 p.m.
last week at Charlotte, but new damage model also on the Xfinity car.
Partly
so
cloudy.
more, tougher than it used to be. So hopefully for Altus and those involved, the damage that they received isn't going to be as bad.
And this is for May 15th, so we're talking about a nice cool summer night, I guess, or spring night.
Themselves prepared for this race. Trevor, we were talking about the fact that before this broadcast started on how many races were left in the regular season. The cut line slowly inching forward. And if you look at the way the points are looking coming into the night, John Dart, Brian L. Wilson, those are the cutoff drivers, with John Dart being in 12th, Brian L. Wilson 13th. That's just a 9-point buffer. Drivers got to be careful on how tonight's race goes. If you have a bad race here tonight, could set you up for a couple of bad nights, as we've got 5 more races until this regular season is over.
It really could, and with the size of the fields that we've seen
All right,
from
man, we're
anywhere
going
from
green
30
next
to
time, bye.
38
All right,
cars
man, line up on the
week in,
inside
week
row.
out. I mean, having a bad night here at Martinsville and finishing in the bottom half of the 20s, if you're near that cutoff line, could really hurt you going into a place like Indianapolis next week that can be really kind of track position dependent, and following that, I mean, it can just kind of snowball for you. So these guys involved in these wrecks early on are definitely going to be trying to bounce back.
Get ready.
They definitely are going to try their best as the field is stacked
man.
up. They've been
Pace
given the
cars
one-to-go
in.
marker. They're taking off this time by. And up front, it's Christopher Norris. Brandon Colley going to be your front two. Brandon Pierce going to be in third. Zach Hall fourth. Chris Stitz fifth. Sixth is Brad McCann. McCann's
Ding,
opening
ding, ding.
into the fight as he will be side by
Deleted
side
to
in
the
that
44.143
third row. Pace car into pit road.
outside.
Here we go again. As it's our second
Still
restart
there.
of the night into the
All right, man,
restart
caution
zone.
is
We're
out.
green.
Caution is
Outside
out.
lane
Line
guy
up
needs
single
on for
file.
the
Caution's out again.
but it's going to be Brandon Pierce
Past
side
the
by side,
17,
putting
past
out of
the-
Brandon Colley in a little bit of a tricky spot as we spun around, issues in the back, and it's another
Still
They're gonna have to pay.
for
They're gonna have to pay the broadcast extra
Pit road
tonight.
is now open.
Restart's going to bring out our third caution of the night. Same cautions, breed cautions, but
I recall several of these kind of races.
lap 0 and just keep the snowballing down.
Watch out for the
32
double zero.
car.
That's
Close
going to
up, pace car.
be seen. We've got a Steve Bustler, the driver that's going to self-spin in front of the.
I broadcasted a race in the beginning
Looks like it's brake bias.
of the Monday night season from Phoenix, and the set was so loose you couldn't go through the dog leg with the car without the car spinning.
You're kind of forced to just run into the double zero.
Which car was it?
Your third
Cup.
of the day, a very odd incident. But hey, if you
Next
mess
gen.
with your brake bias, try to find that
Close up
perfect
ranks
when you're
as
looking
quickly as
for.
you can,
Very
so
easy.
everybody
Find
gets
yourself
pit
in an
road
instant
and
like
have the
this.
appropriate amount of
And
time
really,
to prepare
one of those things that we don't touch on a lot, but when you come to the short
track.
tracks, a lot of guys tend to run a lot of rear brake bias to help get the car to rotate, especially here at Martinsville with how tight the corners are. And, you know, if you're not ready for it, you have to get on the brakes hard, really easy to lock up those rear tires and spin yourself out. And I think that's exactly what happened there.
It's the eye pacing 200.
These drivers already getting to hear a lot of noises of scrap metal being made, as well as running into one another in a good way for yourself. If you'd like to be more engaged with the sounds around you, well, that's where one of the major sponsors of the Full Send Racing Series can help you out. Butt Kicker, feel what you
And this is why you need to get pole.
Instead of just hearing the sounds, why not feel the sounds?
Look at all these laps you'd be
Can I get
leading.
a passenger yellow cleared? I'm not
As
sure.
it's a solid
how I
object
got
that
it.
you attach to your racing rig or to your chain.
Completely uncontested.
With the sound,
Can't touch your speed.
really feel and be more immersed into what you're listening into.
Yeah, you probably could
Product to help drivers. If you think back to the pandemic,
run a shifter here. That'd be
a lot of
fun.
drivers, when they weren't able to do real life racing, talked about how a lot of the feeling aspects really helped you feel
road is
a lot
closed.
more of how you can attack the track. Well, the Butt Kicker helps you in that manner of helping you become a faster driver while being more immersed.
Steve,
Thank you
can I
so
get a
much,
black
Butt Kicker, for
cleared
being one of the major
94 for
sponsors
passing
here
under
at
yellow?
Full
I
Send Racing
slammed the
Series.
brake
I said
before I hit pit
racing
road.
rig. Well, if you'd like to go buy a racing rig, one of the best.
Do you only race karts local, or do you kind of travel around a little bit?
Racing today, while going
Nah, just that one track, local.
a wide range of selections.
Okay.
From budget items that they have just been producing a
Once a month. I'm not big into it. I just go there to have fun.
with your bank account while also
Okay.
offering some of the best racing.
I know a couple guys
They're high-end
that live in Florida. Kenner
All right, man,
and
we're going green.
Kaylin
Next
Brown
time, bye.
that
All right, man, line
are
up on
pretty
the
big into
inside row.
karting down that way.
Sponsors of Next Level Racing and Butt Kicker as the field.
I just don't know what tracks they go to.
Racing action. Christopher Norris going to be your front runner right now, but Trevor, it's you've got some friends that know each other up front. Christopher Norris, Brandon Colley, Zach Hall. It's gonna be helpful when you have allies that you know are around you at a short track that's this
Get
aggressive.
ready.
Yeah, it's got to be nice knowing that, hey, I'm going to probably get
The
rid
leader's been getting on the throttle pretty quick.
So those guys have raced a lot with one another in various leagues, so I'm sure they're going to be friendly to each other for now. Later on in the race, probably not so friendly as we get ready for this
Good
restart.
job, man. You're fit.
Christopher Norris, Brandon
The
Colley,
leader
they
did
were
a
working with one another last
44.14
night as Norris and Colley were,
outside.
Norris was racing, Colley was the spotter.
Stay
Well,
low.
tonight they're both competitors as we're back to green flag action for the next
Still
level
there.
race.
17 still outside.
Great launch from Christopher Norris. Colley trying to cover up. The hard charging
Still there.
39 machine will do so. Zach Hall will fall into that fourth, or top
A
four.
little bit of a wiggle out of him. Still there.
In the line.
Who is the 17?
Still there.
Hall trying to work that out.
17 is
All
Chris
clear.
Stitz.
Pass on third place.
Yeah, how aggressive is Zach Hall going to be here to get around this 39? Is he going to try to get this pass down on the outside and risk maybe losing some positions if these guys can get single filed behind him or really fall in line behind behind Brandon Pierce? It looks like Zach's going to continue this battle for third position with the 39 car. So they're going to be side by side going into 3 and 4. A little bit of contact between the two, but no harm, no foul there. As Zach Hall continuing to try to hold off. Same, he's got to be careful. There's lined up.
The more they run side by side, the more that hole will open up when you get there.
Yeah, I mean, you can only fight for so long, but it looks like for Zach Hall, he'll relinquish that battle to look back at some other drivers that are trying to find their own BC here. Ken Campbell, pretty good in points. Just good races for himself, running in 7th, but side by side, Cedric Hunter, Travis Dart. Some drivers on very different game plans. Travis Dart just needing a good top 10 run, maybe a top 5 run at the end of the night. Cedric Hunter, though, must-win scenario for almost every race moving forward if he's going to find himself into the playoffs.
Yeah, Cedric Hunter is going to be one of those drivers that is in that must-win situation moving forward.
Nah, about the only race I ever go to
May
is.
have got a battle for the lead.
Realizes
Check up. Just go low. There you go.
Don Alexander behind him. Not really one of those guys.
Good job, sir.
At speed in the races he's run, just hasn't had the finishes. So that 11 car are going to look to
I
work.
used to go to Bowman Gray, but I don't go there anymore.
Contact with one another. As it's
Okay.
going to be Brandon
Pit road
Colley,
now
Christopher Norris spun around off the exit of turn 4.
I haven't made it out that way yet, and funny enough, I've actually got a cousin that only lives 20 minutes from there.
Leaders involved in Colley, another one of those drivers saying it is probably going to be in one of those must-win scenarios. Car doesn't look too beat up on the front end, but Norris definitely with some rear end damage. You got to look and see what happened here going into turn number 3.
And this is something that
Well, good news is you're P3. Better news is you're going to restart on the inside again.
trying to fit
Very nice.
enough space, but
Yeah.
hard contact after the fact also of Pierce into Colley's front bumper. That was some heavy damage for himself.
I thought that was it because I saw him getting tangled up there, and I was like, are they going to go low or are they going to go high?
Track position loss for those two, and it's just one of those things. Colley got in there clean, got
They got locked up on the outside of the wall.
in the middle of the corner, probably got the 99 loose, and you saw the overcorrection.
Who was that? That was Colley and
in contact
Norris?
with Brandon
yeah.
Pierce, but Pierce going to stay out here and inherit the lead from these guys. So a gain from Brandon Pierce, but that could have been a huge wreck with our two leaders being involved in it.
And we talked about how, you know, these drivers are ran with one another, that being Colley
Yeah, I like going to races. I just
last week.
ain't got time.
Ready for this race, and instead backfires with having the dominance up front. And in the first 25 laps of the race, it goes up in smoke. Now they got to figure out
Chris Norris and Brandon Colley.
where we've had so many cautions, and now you're going to be in the heart of where a lot of these accidents have been happening. Back after the field, how are you going to be able to react when you're one of the fastest drivers? Some of the slower
4 cautions and 25 laps.
Yeah, this is where they're going to have to really be careful working their way through the field. I mean, we've already seen a bunch of incidents on these restarts in the back half of the field with drivers getting into one another, spinning themselves out, trying to stay off of one another. And now these two are going to have to work their way from the back to the front. And then how much frustration is there between these two drivers?
Almost kind of seemed like I was dropping off of him a little bit.
One another, but I mean, there's got to be a little bit of frustration between Chris and Brandon Colley with it only being lap 26 and taking themselves out of great track position.
I didn't notice in speed.
all the way back. 25th position is Christopher Norris and Brandon Colley, but they come into pit road once again. They are dealing with some heavy damage, forcing
Your buddy Cameron Sartin right now sitting back in P12.
service done. This time's going to be a little bit shorter because they're so far back in the field. Other drivers that have been getting repairs done under this caution.
John Dart 25th.
That of Brian Wilson. Steve Bustler going to be.
Ben Campbell 2 back. Travis Dart 7th.
All right, man, we're going green next time.
Into pit road.
All right, man,
And
line
Curtis
up on the
Waleczka
inside
had
row.
to come to pit road under green flag conditions. Had a black flag, had to get served for the 44, and he's currently 8th.
It's both fun and annoying.
That's gonna be
It's fun because it's different, and
back on the lead lap. Who
having to learn how to drive
he was known.
rain is very interesting, but annoying because you're soaking wet.
Yeah, we did a really
Get
good job
ready.
of it just tonight with the Stephen Bustler
man.
going around in front of him, had nowhere to go, got hard contact into to Stephen's side there, and
All right, buddy. Here we go.
had to come down, serve a penalty, get some damage fixed. But I mean, same with the way this race has been going. I mean, don't count him out on getting essentially back on the
Green,
lead
green,
lap.
green. Get back in third.
Absolutely not. Pace cars into pit road.
32 spun a little bit.
How many more will it balloon out to? Let's find out as we enter into the restart zone. Green flag is out as we
clear, all
mark the
clear.
halfway
Clear up.
marker
Got
of
one
our
outside.
stage break at the end of lap 60.
Still
Only
there.
top 10
Hold the
get
line.
bonus points, and it's going to be Brandon Pierce pulling
Still
away.
there.
Great launch for the 39 machine. Zach Hall will slot into second as our top 4 looking
low.
pretty stout as Chris Stitz working the outside lane from 17.
Stitz trying to get
All
around
Clear up.
clear, all
McCann,
clear.
last week's winner there, to see if he can get up into third position, maybe go have a shot at Zach Hall and Brandon Pierce. But McCann going to try to do everything he
Clear
can to
high,
hold off
clear
the 17, gets that pass clear. Now here comes the 15 of Ken Campbell going to
There you go, sir.
get past Chris Stitz, but Stitz might have an opening. Decides
P3, all you, just get into your rhythm.
on the 15.
17's throwing it in. 15 now that with him side by side, going to get a little bit of a gap here.
Ball in line down here down the front stretch.
Oh, what a dive by the 17. Really not trying to give up on any space. Almost ran into the 8 other drivers, though, further on back from Brett, as well as Nick Holland have been side by side this whole entire restart. Have not given up any positions. It's the 28 and 13.
You were fastest there among the top 3. Good job.
Be in 12th place to see if they can try to make a little sneaky move and grab themselves inside of the top 10.
Yeah, just right outside the top 10 for those stage points here. They can settle out this battle. Might have a chance to go try to track down the 19 of Jacob Grant. And how about the 24 of Cameron Sargent? Sam started all the way back in 18.
You got a good gap, about 7-8 tenths back to P4. So just get into your rhythm and run it out.
I mean, riding on more than 24, hit right on Dalton Alexander's punter was that of the 24 machine. And yeah, I mean, big boost. Our biggest group of the night, up 9 positions.
They're pulling on me.
Job for himself. He could choose how do you want to attack this 11 machine, who's also trying to figure out how to get by the
let them run away and wear out their stuff. Just stay within a decent gap and you'll be all right.
Yeah, I mean, he's got Cameron Sargent all over the rear bumper as he tries to figure out a way to pass and defend at the same time, which makes it really tricky as a driver to figure out what you need to do. As Alexander looking for a way to get past Will Bustler. Bustler using a little bit higher line through the center of the corner, which kind of allows 11 to show his nose, but hasn't been able to quite get the nose underneath the one machine. And you can see it there again. Bustler just taking about a half a car length line off the bottom compared to everybody else around him.
37 laps into this race. Good stage breaking down to lap 60. We're top 10 drivers get bonus points. First gets 10 bonus points.
They might be pulling ahead, but it's like 3 100ths or 1 100th or something like that. You were actually faster that lap.
1 bonus point for themselves. So that one crucial bonus point to get you in.
You're trading hundredths here and there.
Playoffs, still in that final push for this series on who's going to be in the playoffs or not after tonight. 5 more races. And these races going to be tough. They head to Indianapolis, Phoenix.
Caution's out. You were almost a 10th faster that lap. Good job.
Excuse me, Halloween break before the
playing around with that brake bias a little bit.
All right.
Same time, and the yellow flag is out, and it's the 9 machine of Brian Wilson.
And Zach, I think, hit Brandon right when the yellow came out.
Yeah. A little bit of contact there.
Run here tonight and having some more issues.
Wouldn't that have been something if they took each other out?
I believe from the
hey, we've seen it before already.
I might be sitting pretty good in P3 here.
Go to the stage break. How many drivers down pit road? Is we get a replay of what?
Yeah, they want to wreck each other out. Yeah.
Machine is going to be aggressive.
32 thought about it.
3 in the rear end, just already lost before he even goes turning into the corner. And
so lap 35-36, you were 5 100ths and then 3 100ths. You were faster by 100th and then faster by almost a full 10th. So you're trading back and forth, but you're running really good laps.
Just got in a little bit deeper than normal for himself, loops the car around. Thankfully, kept it off.
Yeah, Nathan, I love having him here too.
Could be some pit strategy playing out here, Sam, from these drivers.
Not having to worry about all the information and looking everywhere else on my screen.
Staying out here.
Nathan's giving you props in the chat.
It's so difficult to even think about.
Oh, thanks, man.
I mean, we
appreciate it.
5 cautions. Whenever a caution flag comes out, that's around 4 laps. It's being.
You got some kind of alarm going off. I hope can't hear it.
That's
no, not at all.
So drivers recognize, hey, yes, we've ran 41 laps and we've got 20 laps still to go, but
wife burning the house down in the kitchen.
Under green flag conditions.
Nah, I know what it is. It's not anything bad.
Pit road, unless you're dealing with that heavy damage, which once again, drivers have been caught up in all of our wrecks so far. Have all decided to come into
the battery going dead on a device.
For themselves, as Joshua Altus will be getting the lucky dog spot for the 94, so putting us back at 29 drivers on the lead lap.
Altus finally getting back on the lead. Had 2 spins, is now finally back on the lead lap, and I think that's just going to leave Stephen Bustler 1 lap down, and then Curtis Volechka will be the next car a couple laps down. So a couple more cautions. Sam Curtis could be
judging off of that little run. I might be a little bit better on the long run than they were.
With maybe 5 to
yeah, that's why I said when you said they're running away from you, don't worry about it. Let them run away from you. You'll catch them right back up again.
A pretty big flip. If you're going to be coming into pit road now, taking that pit stop.
Don't worry about cooking the corner. Just run your race.
going,
especially when you got a gap behind.
pit road, get service done, and
Can I
taking
get a black
tires in this
plate?
moment and
Told
say,
me to
hey,
let the 9
if
by.
this-
I let him buy
once
and
stage
fit.
yellow
Didn't-
comes
don't
out,
give me a
expecting everyone to come
penalty.
to the pit, we're going to get service done. Watch out for the 5 and John
Buddy.
Dart. Could be one of those drivers that could be sneakily making the pit stop where he could
Thank you.
have some good speed up front after this stop is over. And also for Christopher Norris trying to get service done. How will a 38 be able to find himself up front for himself as penalty
All right,
being
man,
clear
we're
for
going
Christopher
green
Norris
next
says
time by. All right,
he's
man,
trying to
line
come
up
in
on
pit
the
road as
inside
many
row.
times as possible to get his repairs done. But up front, Brandon Pierce,
Are you restarting first or second?
those top 3 drivers,
Second.
they
Okay.
seem to be able to get in line pretty quickly. Curious on how well they're going to make this run on this restart, because if we're going to make a move for this lead position,
Bet it's gonna spin this time.
you're going to have to
Get
be pretty
ready.
quick with this aggression.
You read my mind. That's why I was
Alright,
asking.
For
Eight
Zach
cars
Hall,
in.
for that of also McCann, there's no reason to be too aggressive because they've already got a win this season and are locked into the playoffs.
Yeah, for
All right, he's been getting on the loud pedal quick.
in danger
Watch it.
and get damage here for Brandon Pierce just
Green,
filling in, trying to
Go,
do the best he can in that 39 machine.
Good God. There you go.
43.
Might be aggressive here, but his teammates right in front of him as Pierce
outside.
gets ready to launch here in the restart.
Stay low,
As the
there's
pace
a car
cars into pit.
behind.
All right, they are
You're
side by
clear
side
high,
behind you.
clear high.
32's going to challenge for the lead.
Once again,
Good job. The
as
next
Brandon
car is the
Pierce,
leader.
39 machine filling in for Doug Pierce. Back Hall, what a launch by the 32 to the inside, trying to take this lead away. Driver that's won the last 2 Martinsville races. And once he gets up front, it's been difficult for anyone to pass him. And just like that, last season's champion is now leading here at Martinsville.
What a move from Zach Hall. He got a great launch, got a great run out the exit of turn number 2, got to the inside of the 39, able to get him cleared. McCann now going to be sitting in 3rd. Cedric Hunter up to the inside of Ken Campbell in the 15. That's going to be the battle for that of 4th position. Now move Cedric Hunter up to 4th, so the 7 on his way forward, and then back behind them, the 26, Travis Stark trying to get to the inside of the 17 of Chris Stitz. Will Bustler, the 11, Dalton Alexander up those 4, battling it out with that of the 24, Cameron Sarton, just sitting there waiting to see if he can find an opening.
Gotta make these moves quickly because once everyone files out, it's so hard to set up a passes. Right on board the 8 machine, Ryan McCann. How does he attack these front 2 drivers after such a dominant performance last week at Charlotte?
All right, man.
Leading
Caution is
over
out.
80.
Caution's out, Jacob
Line up
Grant.
single file.
Sorry, Jacob.
Pit road is
And
closed.
he finds some
Oh boy, there's quite a few here. Chris Melton, Stephen Bustler, Dave McConnell.
Okay, we're just running where he's at. His caution flag waves, and it's going
Pit
to
road
be
is now
seen. Driver stuck on the
It's a
inside.
hell of a pass Zach did off the start there.
Yeah.
Out this yellow.
Looks like the 19 involved, the 77 of William Duff, the 4
And Zach is definitely faster than Brandon.
spun around in that.
Yeah, he was starting to pull away a little bit, but I think after that he kind of just got into race management mode. He didn't pull away anymore.
Actually, it was 19 that got spun around ahead of this 4. See there, hard contact all around, and then small tap, looping the 4, who gets probably the biggest
Car 21.
shunt to the ball and the
Got
most
light dog.
damage
Let him by
of
on the
that
outside.
incident.
Coming hard.
Yeah, they closed the track in the back with cars.
That got
That was pretty bad.
into, Jacob Grant that started that incident, and just small contacts showing to be a major issue here tonight. Bringing out our 6th caution of the
Left up
evening.
21.
Yeah, it
car
looked
by.
like Duff got into the back of Grant, spun him around, and then I believe it was the 45.
6th caution and a quarter of the way done.
They kind of finished the 4 off and sent him around. And again, another caution here. And this could be that potential area 10 to go to the stage where we see some guys come in. Christopher Norris, Jacob Grant, Brian Wilson, and those guys. Is this the point where these guys maybe think about flipping this stage and getting that track positioned?
Oil for Jacob Grant, 4 tires and fuel. The 00 of Steve Bustler also has already taken 4 tires and fuel and damage repairs. Going to be ahead of those drivers. Brian Wilson taking some damage repair and tires, as well as Burt. I mean, I think that's a great call on their part because we got 10 laps left before the stage break yellow comes out. But if there is a caution
There
between
might be somebody that goes in and pits a little early here and stays out on the stage.
this, technically could be one of the last reasons.
No, it's going to be a 10-lap shootout. I think they just said for the stage.
Gotta be recognizing, hey,
It is, but imagine going in early and then being the leader for the rest of the race.
top 10. Otherwise,
Mhm.
gotta be
Yeah.
perfect on getting inside the top 10, get those stage points now.
Yeah, it's going to be a dogfight back there where you look at Will Bustler's in 8th, Cameron Sarton 9th, Chris Stitz is in 10th. You got Tony Brent, Nick Holland, Jay Becker.
If it somehow goes green, you won't make it on fuel though.
8th through 14th there. I mean, that's going to be where all this fighting's going to be for that.
I don't really see that happening.
Points, and
You said you ran 80-something laps earlier in practice. What was your fuel tank like afterwards?
those guys get to battle and one another really hard.
I just remember it's 140 wide open, or
Set.
140 on the tank.
Okay.
It's also going to be an
All
interesting
right, man, we're going
restart
green next time. Bye.
because
All
Zach
right, man,
Hall,
line
Cedric
up on the
Connor, kind of
inside row.
similar to Brandon Colley and Christopher Norris. They usually practice with one another.
If you can not give that 32 any kind of a gap, you might be able to take P2 away from the outside car and
Across the line.
fill that hole going into the corner. You just have to really worry about the braking point.
And Brian McCann time this restart and be
Get ready.
tagged along
And this tire spin, I didn't really hit it too
All right,
good
man.
last time.
before this stage is over.
That's going to be a good restart here behind Zach Hall. Going to have to pretty much take off when Hall does, but we've seen the leaders be able to get a great restart, and kind of the second place guy.
There you go. Hug his back bumper.
Hold up the guy in third. but
Ready,
Green, green.
ready, go.
Great restart.
Good launch. 39 spun him a little bit.
44.
On that lap before that last caution
Got
came
one
out.
outside.
Here we go,
Good
Sam.
job. The next car is
As
the
they
leader.
enter the restart,
There you go.
Zach Hall
Clear, clear.
this moment hit.
Nice.
He's going to allow Brian McCann to be side by side for that a second place. Cedric Hunter slots right to the inside groove. Trying to slowly make their march forward as these drivers lap 54 as they march into lap
job, man.
55. If
You're
a
up to
caution
second.
flag would come out, that will count as the stage break. These drivers all recognizing it's go time, no give, all take. As Zach Hall pulls away with Brian McCann in second.
And Zach Hall did exactly what he needed to. Brian McCann did what he needed to, and Cedric Hunter was the most aggressive, was able to get to the inside, cut off the 15 of Ken Campbell. Now still going to be stuck side by side with 39 here. Brandon Pierce, Campbell, and Travis Dart battling with one another.
You're faster by 200ths there.
For third position. Now Brandon Pierce back to fourth. But that battle for
Keep doing that.
sixth and seventh continues with Campbell and Travis Dart.
Driver that's ultimately losing right now. Purple
That was your
flag.
box,
And
lap
Chris
to the second.
Stitz falling all the way outside of the top 10. Back
There you go.
to 10th place. That's Ken Campbell and Travis Dart fight side by side, but Campbell with a better run.
Another 100.
We're closing in to the 2 lap to go window before pit road is closed for this field. Again, if a caution flag would come out at this moment, that would count as the stage. That's why we're starting to see this aggression really mounting up.
Absolutely. Clicking them off. Full tent there, man. Go get them.
The drivers behind him.
Yeah, he got stacked up, made a little bit of contact with the 24 of Cameron Sarton out of turn number 2, got him checked up, and almost gave up a position there to the 28 of Tony Brent, who's still fighting with the 17 of Chris Stitz, but Stitz goes way high through 1 and 2. He's going to lose a couple of positions in that 17 machine. He's really struggling through the center of the corner. The 17 falling back a couple of positions.
Can you cross them? Can you cross them?
Goes in on this one machine of Will Bustler. That's going to be the battle.
Made them
Try
look.
to fake him out.
Our Daytona
Didn't work.
Goes in on
Yep, I get you.
Big Brent doing a great
Oh,
job.
I thought that was
Oh,
the
yeah.
last lap. This is the last lap. Shit.
It's a handful of corners.
I had
Yeah,
one
right
more
there.
chance. I gave up. No.
The battle for the lead
All
starting
right,
to heat
man.
up.
Caution
Oh.
is out. Caution is
Yeah,
out.
right.
Line
Good
up,
job.
single file.
All right, man.
Pit road is
Call.
closed.
We have one more lap before this stage is over. Top 10 drivers getting bonus points as caution flag is out. And it's Chris Stitz, the 17.
I might have could have dove bombed there, but
I mean, Sam, he was struggling the last couple of restarts. I've seen him go high through the center of the corners, not only in 1 and 2, but in also in 3 and 4 in the
Hell of a try.
having
all my stuff good.
some major issues.
I'm getting there. Oh, that's where you guys going here. Yep, you're good.
Spin out as we take a look here. I mean, he got into the outside wall just a couple laps ago, dealing with tightness. Well, it broke loose with how tight it was off the exit. 17.
Far right on the pit
Locks
road,
it down and starts to move probably at the scariest moment for that of Steven Bustler.
Yeah, Bustler was side by side there, and the 17 just inched out a little bit, but thankfully nobody else collected. But I mean, that's the issues you have. You fight tightness and you put too much wheel into it. Get a little bit
Right here.
throttle happy on that corner exit. It breaks loose on you. You spin around, and around goes the 17, but thankfully able to stay off the wall, stay off of everybody else. And Sam, couple of drivers staying out, flipping that stage break. Brandon Colley going to be in the lead now.
Hey, if you're caught up in that
a lot of cars stayed out.
couple of wrecks, why not get your damage repair, get
Why
some
not?
tires, and set up for this restart? You're going to have a track position, but you're going to be hurting
Let's see.
slightly.
Right now, it is showing you
Call
P15. Have to see how it updates, though.
lead all the way down to
Nathan, I'm not sure.
position as Zach Hall, winner of the stage. He's got to be happy about that. But how is this 32 machine going to feel on the restart? Let's find out as we get to talk to our stage
Same for me.
winner
Can you
and
look
see
at
how
15?
Zach Hall
Can you
is
clear?
feeling. 32 machine and Zach Hall. It's Sam and Trevor up the booth. You got us?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Well, stage winner, but now you're stuck in traffic. Man, how are you feeling with this car currently, and how are you feeling about this upcoming restart?
And I was to the right.
Feeling pretty
on the
good.
exit was
Yeah,
to
the
not run
track
into the
position's
39.
lost, so we'll try to find our way back up there. But luckily, starting on the bottom, I think right now. So 11th. So hopefully that stays the same.
And Zach, what's going to be the key here to getting back up to the front? We've seen some kind of chaos on restarts and drivers having some brake bias issues, it looks like, in the corners. But what's going to be your strategy here to try to get
All right, bud. Leader last pit on lap 42 under one, just early. P2 is last in on lap 50. You got 43, 49, 49, 40, 40,
Ruin your night.
51 for a few, and then late 40s.
What I've been doing all night.
So you're going to have at least 10 or 11 lap fresher tires. Outside line might be able to work. Have to see how you feel getting in, though.
I mean, Zach, last question for you.
I don't think that's big enough of a difference. I know the leader's fast.
And also seeing Brandon Colley, their contact, battling for the lead.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I was very surprised.
Yeah, still your tires are going to be almost 20 laps fresher.
It's kind of hard to tell what's going on, but you know, you can never know with these things. They're racing hard for the lead up front, and that kind of opened the door up for me. So I guess thank you.
They were only 97 though. We did so many caution laps.
Yeah, good luck.
That's true.
And try to survive through the chaos.
A lot of people by, so it's probably gonna be some
But add a little bit of a green flag feel right there, so
Also going to be our stage winner here.
I think you might still be sitting in the catbird seat.
No more stage racing left tonight. It's about who's going to win the Next Level Racing 200. If you're just joining us, yes, that number is correct. We've had 7 cautions this evening. A lot of them started off the first 20 laps, but it's time to see how the drivers can attack from here on out. Can we get some green flag racing? Let's find out as it's Brandon Colley, Joshua Altis, got involved in the first couple of accidents here today. Well, now they're the leaders. That's that
7 still inside.
99 down into turn number 1 for the Next Level Racing 200.
Yeah, call it a great launch. Now it's going to be Ryan Lynch. Josh Waltz is battling for second and third, and Lynch going to move his way up into second place. Almost clear of the 94, but that of Waltz is going to drive hard into 3 and 4, try to hang on the outside, but not going to be able to, as he's going to have to give up that second place position.
7 clip the curb behind you. You are all clear.
It's going to be the 5 of John Dart battling with the 6.
Caution's out.
Or the 6 of Jonathan.
I know what that is.
Right side off of turn number 2.
3 wide, 4 wide, spun around our Daytona winner, Tony Brent, as he gets tapped off the exit of the corner, as there was a lot of beating and banging of drivers just
Not very fun mid-pack.
one another through one.
No, but that's going to give you a little bit of time. 32 definitely made his way through the pack just a little bit, just by virtue of the bottom line.
28 who gets spun around, bringing out another caution.
You're going to restart 12th again, so you still be on the outside. You'll have Brian Wilson on your inside.
Kind of get to beating and banging on one another, and Tony Brent, unfortunately, the driver that comes out worse for wear and all of that, and as he gets spun all the way around, you can see it right there off the end there, gets hit by, I believe that was the 12 machine of Trey Jackson that delivers the final blow to the 28.
That's everyone's just trying to play nice, getting centered back up and pointing in the right direction as another caution flag out in the air. And just aggressive moves. And this is what we're going to be seeing a lot of, because we had over 10 drivers out there on older rubber, and a lot of them dealing with damage. They're going to start to fall back. And as well, the drivers that were once in the clean air.
That's a good point. Let me just go back.
They're dealing with a lot more.
They're talking about cars up front with damage. I'm going to kind of take a quick look at the guys in front of you, see how they're setting.
Everyone's just piling in, and gonna see a lot more Robbins racing.
I think the car without a bumper, it looks like it's yellow from here. He might have been holding the bottom line up, and that may have helped that wreck there.
That have been up there all long. Be aggressive.
Go back.
Up there.
Let's see, 94's got a lot of damage.
Like a Brandon Colley, Joshua Altis.
That's Josh Altis.
How they can hold off on these tires that they have. When you think about it, it's about almost a 10.
So somebody was holding that bottom line up.
In some cases, almost 20. But I mean, how many of those have actually been under green, Sam?
That's the big thing. I think majority of them, for those on that major tire difference, maybe there's a true 10 to 15 laps green flag racing on those older tires. but that's still pretty minimal when you think about short track racing. Usually
Either that or it's just an accordion.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. The 94's got a bit of damage.
Difference on tires.
There's definitely some separation between the bumper and the hood. Bumper looks like he's
through the field.
played tag a few times. His right front's got a little bit of separation as well, but other than him, I really don't see a whole lot of damage between you and the leader.
This race, Brandon Colley got caught up with one another, wrecking for the lead earlier on in this race. In different spots, Colley's got to be feeling a lot more comfortable leading this race, knowing he's got such a buffer before he has to deal with Zach Hall and others that came into pit road 9 laps ago.
Yeah, clean air, I think, is going to be king for Brandon Colley. If he can get another great launch and clear and let those guys battle behind him, should be able to pull away a little bit. Feel pretty good about it. Christopher Norris, I mean, he's got to feel pretty decent, though, Sam. I mean,
Track temp still holding at 68, 65-degree air. Everything else looking pretty good.
You know, a 10-lap tire difference to that of the guys around him, so he's going to have to hold off Zach Hall and everybody behind him and see how well the 38 can do doing that.
Get ready.
It's going to be difficult, but let's find out how well they can hold off the field, or are they going to be able to just have enough engine power underneath them and grip to keep and hold on in their positioning. Thank you to everyone that's watching here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting and commenting on all your thoughts on tonight's race. We really do appreciate it as the drivers are ready to get back to green flag racing. Brandon Colley, Ryan Lynch into the restart zone, and here we go.
Clear in.
Into turn number 1, a little bit of shuffling deeper in the field, but up front they're stacked up and ready to attack off the exit of turn 2.
Yeah, Lynch, I think, tried to time that, got a little bit out in front of Colley and had to check up a little bit. It's going to cost him a spot to the 94 of Altus and possibly a spot to the 19 of Jacob Grant, as that's going to be the battle out of turn number 4, the battle for third place between those two, and Lynch doing everything he can
Clear low.
to hold off this 19, the 5 of John Dark clear of the field behind him. But Christopher Norris able to drop down in front of the 32 of Zach Hall, the 6 of Jonathan Burke falling back through the field. As they go on board here with Norris, see, tries to look for
I'm stuck.
It's a little bit sideways.
Yeah. You had it for a second, but
Aggressive.
that was it.
Christopher Norris sits at home to try to stay up for a 2-for-1 pass. As they go through turns 1 and 2, major slip up, and also following behind these drivers going to be the 6 of Jonathan Bird, as they're 2 wide, almost 3 wide. Back, Sam Siegel and Brian L. Wilson have been the real valve of who can move forward and who can't, as seen the 55 and the 9 machine struggling with the damage that they've been put onto these vehicles, as well as struggling with the grip underneath them.
Struggling as they continue to fall back. You see it right there, and there's the 8 of Brian McCann, last week's winner, just caught behind the 55 of Sam Siegel on that top line. Nowhere to go for the 8 machine. He continues to lose moves. Now finally going to be able to get behind the 24 of Cameron Sarton, get by that 55 machine, but a ton of track.
That hurt a little bit.
Another caution's out.
I get to start on the outside again.
Yeah.
I mean, issues as the 00.
But this time you'll have the 55, I believe. Yeah, you'll have the 55 to your outside
after
or inside, so you might have a little bit of a better chance.
Through turns 3 and 4, so he went over the curb and just was not able to get one in the right direction. We initially looked here. This is what starts things off. It's going to be the 00 that gets spun around and locks up the rear end, having some fun over the curb, hits the inside pit wall, hits the pit wall again, and then a small tap by Jay Becker to the 00 sends Steven Bustler around.
Yeah, I think for Will Bustler, just got into 3 and 4 a little bit hot, jumped on the brakes to not run over the car in front of him. Then once you're up on the curb, I mean, it just really upsets the car, and you saw it right there as he was bouncing all over the curb, spinning out, and then unfortunately for Steven Bustler, just kind of got a little friendly tap from behind by Jay Beckard, spins him around and brings out our, I believe, 9th caution of the night.
Quite a few cautions have ballooned out here this evening. Stage racing is done. We're closing in on the halfway, but for us here on the Freaky Fast Broadcasting booth, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, it's going to be more great racing action for the Full Set Racing Series. This is race number 10 for the Next Level Racing 200 at Martinsville. Thank you for joining with us. Again, we will be back right after this for more Paperclip Racing.
Listen here, Derek. I got excuses. How you doing?
Pit road is closed.
I'm unlucky. Yeah. See if I can't get to the bottom side this time, not be held up on the top. I also think tire strategy is going to come into play here if we get some actual green flag laps in.
All right, man, we're going green next time by. All right, man, line up on the outside row now.
Things happen. Well, my excuse is I got to start on the outside. Have I started on the inside any? I did in
ready.
third, didn't I?
Yeah. When third and fifth.
Space cars in. Green flag, green flag.
They're 5 wide behind the pit.
They were putting on. Stop.
This ain't gonna work. They make it last.
Oh, and then you get rear-ended in the back from the 17.
Sora's coming off a 4.
All right, let me take a look around.
That's it.
I'm sorry. I'll
Bottom
keep- I'll let
line,
you go
here it
and
comes.
I'll
Oh
run.
no, Carter gets run. It's gonna be that Nick Crawford. The 74 gets through.
Good news is I'm still 2000.
Everybody.
Yeah, the front end looks good. A little bit of separation on the driver's side between the fender and the hood. No issue to the splitter. Not much on the right-hand side. Gonna take a look at the back side since you got rear end at the end.
Top two bounced into one another. Just too much of side drifting off of, and they gotta be careful.
No problem at all.
Can I get a
Good job getting on the
ball,
binders.
28.
Yes.
Thank you.
Welcome back, and yes, that number did change.
How am I still 16th?
On the cautions here at Martinsville, you're
Hey,
watching the
Philip,
full
what's
set.
By the time the caution flew, I guess.
As a parking lot was formed for a quick second as the drivers tried to launch. We were hoping to be back when they were exiting off turn 2 being green. Instead, we are back under PC once again as the
It
field was
looks
trying to
good
take
on
up
my
on a
review.
restart. Found themselves in a big wreck
It probably
as
looked
they
a lot
couldn't
better than
enter
mine.
turn 1. And here's what brought out our 10th caution of the day. Aggressive restart for drivers. Again, those are on old tires trying to take off a lot of wheel spin. Collects the
That guy that hit you in the back end on very, very late in the caution just gave you a little bit of scuff on the left rear
Might need a couple of shots on
where you kind of walled it a little bit. I don't see anything going on
Trevor that you don't expect
on the passenger side, so you're looking pretty good, Brian.
3 times on these restarts of drivers have
Side short track racing, you don't have to worry about any kind of arrow.
Yeah, I think it was
Derek, correction, 4 wins.
The 6
I think.
on the restart as they all kind of checked up, and then Ryan Lynch
But yeah, I'm locked in.
gets run over from behind by the 11. Cameron Sarton gets by. Brian Wilson involved in that, and I mean, it
Thank
turns
you.
into a parking lot after that. Trey Jackson.
That is true.
8 of Brian McCann involved. I believe the 10 of.
Nah, Zach got the stage point there. I don't know if Brandon Colley is in
I
the
think it'd actually be easier to tell
top 12 or not.
involved in that wreck.
I don't remember.
That was majority of everyone instead of our
I don't think he's got a win.
got involved with that incident.
Pit road is
Kind of
closed.
a shocking wreck to be seen.
So this race, we're probably just not
Drivers
wanting the like top 5 or so to get playoff points.
on 30 plus old tires, some on 25. Now, that's just based on.
In that case, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really change anything. It's just a fun race for me.
It's hard to say when they really have used these tires, and how much green flag racing.
Zach got 1 point, so
Tires, but
Brian,
a
am I
few
missing
able
a
to come to
bumper?
pit road
Alright,
to
man,
get
we're
service
going green
done,
next
either
time,
get
bye.
damage
Alright,
repair
man.
or
Bye.
going to be
Bye.
able to
Outside
get
road
some
now.
fresh rubber.
Catch
They've
the
had a total
I'm just glad I don't have engine damage.
It's just hard to utilize those tires
Right.
when there is no green flag racing to utilize.
I thought I was done for there.
For that of Zach Hall.
Let's catch up. Let's catch up.
Trying to look further on down. Cedric Hunter. Dalton Alexander and those guys who pit at our stage break to
Get
really
ready.
have an advantage over everybody in front of them who have stayed out.
All right,
with
man.
These cautions
Safe
keep
cars
coming
in.
out. I mean, you're heat cycling the tires, and eventually,
All right, be ready.
That's where I'm
It's gonna
normally
go
at.
green as you're just coming off of 4.
who knows what's going to happen here? Same as we line
On Carton.
another attempt at a restart.
We'll try. As
Green
the last
flag,
2
green flag.
seasons, season
Go, go, go.
season 3, most cautions they had for those races, 8 apiece. Well, we'll see if we go over the line of how many they've ever had at
Inside.
Martinsville. As we're back to green flag racing, it's
Stay
Grant
high.
Valley, Joshua Maltons, as well as
Clear low,
inside.
clear low.
Grant going to be side by
Outside.
side for second place. As Zach Hall
Stay
Way
low.
to throw it in. Get on the binders.
forward in
Nice.
his competition.
Clear up.
Clear,
He's still
all clear.
mired all the way back in 15th for Ryan McCann.
Yeah, McCann just stuck back in traffic, was involved in that last restart incident. Now Zach Hall clear of the 94 of Joshua Altus. Now just has Jacob Grant, Brandon Colley in front of him. That of the 38, Christopher Norris. Mark Polstead able to fall in line behind the 32 machines. And Norris with a great
Outside.
recovery run after he and Colley made contact with one another.
there.
So Norris up to
You're
4th.
clear high.
Jonathan
Clear high.
Burt up
Get
to
one
5th. Cedric
outside.
Hunter trying to get through those. He gets
Go
by
there.
the
Hold your
94
line.
of Joshua Altus, who finally finds a way in line in front of the 15
Go
and
there.
the 5
Hold your
in
line.
Campbell and John Dart.
We stacked side by side. John
You're
Dart
clear high,
and
clear
Ambrose.
high.
They're trying
Clear
to
up.
make their way forward as the 15, the 5 continue to fall back on some of the oldest tires of anyone out there on track. Start to feel
All right, man,
maybe that
caution
tire
is out,
difference.
caution is
Also
out.
stuck
Caution's
on
out.
the conveyor belt of being
Pit road is
stuck on the
closed.
outside lane. You
Sorry
just
about that.
continue to fall.
All right, buddy.
Hey,
P13, so you get about a bottom line restart.
Stuck on the outside lane.
Heck yeah.
William Duff, but they'll get a reset as they're wrecking out of the exit of turn number 4.
Now Derek will quit complaining.
Rack them up, try it all over again. Looks like, I believe that's 27. I believe Sam spun around there of
Well,
Peter Dillon.
It was a stack up. I believe that Steven Bustler got himself pushed around.
A couple more of these, and I think I'm going to pit.
Having a jam on his brakes, and then he got ran over.
Well, make sure it's ready for you whenever you make that
Around the
decision.
27. So, a rough outing
It's the
for a few.
77 car.
Let's take a look here at drivers trying to make their way forward. It's going to be right in front of this 45 machine.
I'm just picking with you, Derek.
Seen drivers stacking up and then just pile driving
Don't see full.
into the 27.
No tear off.
Alex Jones, no regard. And also Trey Jackson getting a slight clip because of the aftermath.
Yeah, Alex Jones just not reacting in time.
Got 3 sets left in the
21 of
pits.
Stephen
You
Butler.
should be good there.
Car.
And
17.
3 and 4
Got
brings
the
out
lucky
our
on the
11th
outside.
caution.
Brake bias right now sitting at even.
Commercial break, you were talking about 16
I
cautions.
think if we go something like another
I'm going to go through the record books of where the most
10 lapper,
thought it was just here. Or
20 lapper,
the highest they've ever had was season 2.
come in and pit. That way we got like 80 laps to work with.
Of what race was the most? It was season 3.
That sounds pretty good. I'm
And-
watching
The history books on who can crush that record, which I will say for a lot
those that are out right now.
the most cautions. In
Looks like from 22nd on back is actually on pit road right now. Some for service, some for repairs still.
Covering here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting.
Yeah, it kind of seems to be the trend, and I'm going to say commentator's curse is on you.
Yeah, because I mean, I got to have some kind of difference between me and the leaders to be able to do anything, to have a chance.
Here at Martin.
Oh, let's take a look.
We know
As far as last pit, leader was last on pit road lap 42, 49 P2, 61 and 51 is going to be 3rd and 4th,
Virginia Air.
49 and 61 for
So you caught me off guard with
5th and 6th, and you're kind of working your way on up a little bit. Everybody else right directly in front of you all came down right around you except for
clean.
John Dart in the 5. He was last on pit road lap 40.
Cautions, maybe spread them
Pit road is
out
closed.
as the series has been able to get some green flag racing in the past. It just seems like
I think the next yellow I'm going to pit.
somewhere.
Okay.
It is not going well.
And somebody went in, so I got to start on the outside now.
Series, a lot of bad
Of
checkups,
course.
but as well, just over aggressive racing on trying to get by slower drivers, which is a known factor to bring out a lot of yellows, as we've had 11 here before we've even crossed the halfway marker. But
Because I'm thinking if I like stay here, I might be able to get up to, let's say, top 10, maybe 8, 5th, whatever.
Interested to find.
I just don't think I'll have anything for the leaders if I get up there. But if I have new
All right, man, we're
tires,
going
work my
green
way
next
through the
time,
field
bud.
and get up there,
All right,
I
man.
might have a
Line up on
chance.
the
kind of
outside
this
road
off
now.
strategy. Do they?
The only thing about that is all those guys in front of you, they're going to want to come down pit road sooner than you because you've still got fresher tires.
want to be at the back of the.
If they go in with you, you're going to come out in the same positions.
So what's
I don't think the leaders are wanting to pit. I don't think they're going to pit.
going to take the outside line on this
That's
restart?
what I'm banking on.
Zach
Get
Hall.
ready.
Well, you're 3 away from halfway.
Try to hold back
All right,
Zach
man.
Hall. The
Safe
only
cars
issue is if Jacob Grant can time this restart, which he has been struggling to time it properly.
39's got quite a bit of damage, so I'll have to see how he handles it. Get ready to go.
Let's see what this restart is going to look
Green,
like
green,
for the
green.
next level
Green
race.
flag.
200. You're watching the full
Good
segment
job.
series.
44.051.
Race number 10 off the exit turn
Yeah, one
4
inside.
into the
You're in
restart
the
zone.
top 10.
The 99
Stay
Barbie
high.
machine has the power, and we're gone as Chris
Clear in front of 39, clear low.
already taking off. Grant
Yeah,
not
one
able to
inside.
go at all.
Now a little bit of wheel spin there from Grant. It's going
What a slide.
Gunner on the same strategy as Zach.
I thought maybe I could pull that outside
Look at
line. Nope.
Front. Christopher Norris now up to second. He got taken out by the 99
Stay
of Brandon
high.
Colley early on in this race. Will there be some revenge from the 38? Jacob Grant able to hold on currently for third position. So they're going to have
Stay
to follow
high.
back in behind the 32 of Zach Hall. Behind them, Cameron Sarton trying to go around the outside of John Dart, the two-time champ. Again,
Yeah, I should have went low on that opportunity.
Stay high.
Sorry, gotta give
There's the car
kudos to
on the
that
low
24
side.
machine on the fact that he's moved up to 6th place. He has
All
been
clear,
the biggest
all clear.
mover for
Yeah,
majority
one
of the
inside.
night. Now taking
Clear
back
low,
Clear low.
clear low.
Dart and Bird, who both were on the opposite, changing up their pitch strategy before the stage break was over, so able to jump and take a net gain.
Yeah, one
Currently based
outside.
on raw speed, gotta
All
give kudos to
clear,
that
all
24
clear.
machine.
15 trapped outside.
Campbell and Doug, that Brandon Pierce,
Yeah,
side
one
by
outside.
side, fighting for the 9th place.
Still in the
Stay
hole.
low.
back to that fifth place position.
Side by side.
Here's going to get that position cleared. Here
Stay
comes
low.
the 8 of Brian
All right,
McCann
man.
trying
Caution
to
is out.
Caution's out.
Caution is out.
work his
Line
way up through the
single
field.
file.
He's been
Pit road
stuck back
closed.
here, Sam,
Left
from
up
about
15,
If scoring
car
is
five.
right, it has you 11th.
really had any chance to go anywhere. And
98 laps to go.
Caution flag.
I'm pitting.
It just
Okay.
seems like it's the similar drivers always caught up in it. It's been a rough night for the fill-in driver of Ross
Pit
Tatum.
road
That
is now
being
open.
Stephen Bustler, Trey Jackson, also involved. And it's
Dang, they're
just
pitting.
one of those races.
The leader did at least.
Martinsville, when you have a bad night, it just always seems to snowball, get worse and worse, and that's what's going to
I hope it doesn't give you any kind of a flag. You had the that little orange box
just got a nice
between the middle of your car.
between those two drivers.
I don't know if it counts it or not.
contact there with Trey Jackson, the 00.
Nah, it's just a yellow cone.
Okay.
Also the 9 of Brian Wilson. And unfortunately for Curtis Valechka in the 44, I think because he stopped on track, not going to get the
In real life, we're not in real life. This is a video game.
Right
mark
here.
for himself, and that would have only put
We can
him.
repair
I know,
the damage.
but some leagues actually have it set up for that.
And also Brandon Colley on pit road.
I was talking to Derek. He was complaining again.
Making a pit as well as Tony Brent and others. Now this pit stop could be
That's it,
crucial,
go.
but it is such a hurt type of a spot to be when you give up the
Line
lead
up single
position,
file.
expecting
Extra
more drivers
This is a
44
simulation, not a video game.
don't follow you.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good call from those two, especially Brandon Colley, Brian McCann to come down pit road. But I mean, why not try it? You're betting on everybody else is going to have to come down pit road at some point, but you're going to be back there, Sam, where all the carnage has been. I mean, do you really feel safe back there?
I wouldn't feel safe back there. It honestly
All right,
doesn't
P19 and the broadcasters are questioning your choice to go down pit road.
Race, drivers that have called it a night officially going to be Stephen Bustler in the doubles.
I got a camera. They can see me.
21 on our ticker, who's been struggling all night long. It looks like after that last
Give him a little bird.
too much damage, didn't want to get it repaired, and is calling it a night for
44,
himself. Other drivers that have been in pit road trying to get repairs done. Dave McConnell in
I'm not too worried about it.
Who's caught up in our gridlock wreck when we
I
were
say you're back among all the carnage.
is also
Now imagine if I get up there and somehow win.
down trying to get
Then they'll have to explain themselves.
potentially if able to get back on track and try to minimize the damage being lost. As we're across the halfway marker, you got to see that on our
But we were running 20.1s, and
control.
I know new tires are better than that, so
Running race control tonight, and has been running race control on Tuesdays and Wednesday nights on Freaky Fast Broadcasting for both leagues that we cover, being the Full Send Racing Series on Tuesdays.
just get the draft here at Martinsville and slingshot on that front stretch.
Cup
All right, man,
Series
we're going
on
green next
Wednesday
time
nights,
by.
and,
All right, man, line
Trevor,
up on
having
the
a race
inside
control
row.
and
Head
an
to
eye
17
above
car.
watching some of the carnage that's going on, it's got to be a little.
You and Harry Hogg, it's constantly what you're working on, right?
If my black flag's clear, if the mess gets
Oh, yeah.
complete, I know someone else could
Finally get to go on the inside.
clearly bad messes that are going on.
You never know. Might be able to do something, but now you're going to have a bunch of slower cars in front of you
Get ready.
that stayed out. Leader's on in lap 43,
All right, man.
so you got
Pace
60
cars
lap
in.
fresher tires now.
Starts and makes it. I'm sure Steve has his
Just got to dodge the wrecks.
flags.
Mm-hmm.
and everything, but great job of it here tonight.
All right, get ready to go.
Put them to work here tonight here in Martinsville.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag.
Play is field is stacked
Delete
up, ready to go.
to
His car in the
Clear
bar.
up.
Christopher
0.867.
Norris back to the lead spot, the pole sitter. Now is this restart going to go for himself as the green flag is back out in the air? Cedric Connor is going to be stopped by the 19 machine of Jacob Grant. Grant once again struggling on these restarts.
Spinning in front of you. Stay low, stay low.
Second call, second Connor. Margin number 4.
Oh, he came back in. Go, 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 go. Caution.
Car by.
Yeah, again, Cedric Connor being aggressive from that outside line, able to get down to the bottom, but caution's out. His car scatter through 3 and 4.
Drivers
That 17's tires cambered.
Mm-hmm.
voiced over the radio, but not a lot of drivers spun around.
He was involved in, he was the one that got up on the curb earlier, and they ended up taking him 4 wide and wrecking.
and tossed into turn number 3.
I'm not quite sure what
All
happened.
right, let me take a look at your
Hey,
driver's
thanks
side.
for the subscription.
Peeled down pit road. Looks like Jacob Grant and John Dart going to come down pit road for what could potentially be maybe their final pit stop of the night, depending on how this race plays out. And
16th.
more drivers.
Always getting out
They're gonna get shoved
outside.
into the back and be in that danger zone, and gonna see how that works out for them,
12.
Sam.
Got
But
the lucky
Christopher
dog,
Norris
let
had a
it by
great
on the
launch. Cedric
outside.
Connor as well. Cameron Sarton. I think those two.
No, 15th. It updated.
Could be kind of a thorn in the side of Zach Hall if they can get clear here of Christopher Norris. Those 3 might be able to battle this one out.
Yeah, and I think the big
Let
thing
up
for those
12.
drivers that
Car
will run,
by.
such
He had
as
the
Christopher
position
Norris
when
and
the yellow
Zach
flag
Hall
came out.
and Cedric Connor, for these front runners, they're in a tricky spot because the longer that they stay out, the more drivers behind them are going to come into pit road. They've already given up that advantage of, having a large group come to pit road and be.
You might see a little bit of a crinkle from your view on the left front.
And for Brian,
As far as the hood goes, everything else looks pretty good.
pitted before Nick Holland.
Yeah, as long as the motor works, we're good.
Pitted,
Yeah.
the caution before our last one.
Nice one there, Derek.
Currently the 13. If we see all of our front 10 coming to pit road, the 13 actually would be in a lead position to watch out for.
I mean, this could be a similar situation to what we saw at the stage break, where you're going to have drivers, 10 or so drivers that kind of flop the track position on, or guys that stay out here. And it could be, relatively similar to what we saw with Zach Hall having to restart back in like the 10th or 11th.
Just needed to go green.
Based off how
If it's all single file, I, maybe can get around some people.
Now, I mean, they don't have that tire advantage that Zach Hall and others
Pit road is
had.
closed.
At that stage break, it was like a 20, 30 lap.
I was hoping I'd be able to do it in 80 laps, but not if we're doing it every 2 laps.
5, 6, 15
Top
laps.
7 is full of guys that were last on pit road in the 40s.
It's a tough
William Duff
drivers are inside
and Dalton Alexander, 53, 55, 52 for Philip Chavez, 50 for Nick Holland,
to try to get
and then just a few in front of you, also in the early 50s.
40 laps to go.
So you've got the freshest tires
All right, man,
with
we're going green next
as far as
time
track
by.
position
All right,
goes.
man.
Key
Line up
call,
on the
because you never
inside
know if
row.
we're going to have enough green flag laps to make those passes for later on in this race. As we wait for the 1 to go marker here tonight. Again, thank you for joining with us on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. If you're
51, 61, 61, 61.
Like racing here at Martinsville,
Man, 40 plus.
more green flag action the next couple of nights. Tomorrow night,
Get ready.
Man, I came in, they were 99.99 on the right. That wasn't worth
All right,
it.
man.
Oh my God.
Race control. He's also going to have a great race to watch tomorrow night, and so can you. Gen 4s running at Talladega, the first race of the playoffs for the WSSR, and then as
Green, green,
well,
Green flag.
the 08 Atlanta.
They stacked up on the outside.
Drivers know how to put
Got
on a
one
great show
outside.
as
Deleted
well.
to
Don't want to
do
miss
the
out. See all of the racing action here on Freaky
42.024.
Fast
Still
Broadcasting
there.
as we
Hold
are
the line.
back to green flag action.
Still there.
Clear 94, 10 outside now.
Down
94 is going to come up behind you.
Cedric Connor give a little
Still
bit of a
there.
shot to the
Hold the
38,
line.
trying to get him to go a little bit quicker.
Clear high.
Through
Clear
1 and 2,
high.
trying to
Got
get
one
side by
outside.
side with Zach Hall, but Zach Hall
Just go low, go low, go low, go
All right,
low.
man.
use that
Caution is
outside
out.
line,
Caution's out.
through the
Line up.
corner and
Check up,
roll
check up,
or
check
past the
up,
38
check up.
here
Let the
of Christopher Norris. They're going to be battling for the lead. Zach Hall,
All right, sir.
Right though, center of the front.
How about that scoring P11?
Had the advantage in
Back to where I was
Sorry,
when I
Nick,
pitted.
you're
We're
wide
just
there.
stacking in,
Nowhere
not
to
able
go.
to slow
Back
Minus
in the
one.
saddle again.
from bad to worse for the 13.
-1 for outside starting position again.
I believe that's 28, our Daytona winner. Tony Britt involved as well, as he's missing the front
Damn
bumper
it.
and the rear bumper off that 28 machine as he made hard contact with Nick Holland. And
It ends when the flagman goes home and gives up.
came out as we take a look and see what happened to Nick Holland.
Nick Collins going to be pushed into
This is a race that never ends.
then the 13
Yes,
Takes
it
his yellow
goes
flag with
on
him.
and on, my
all
friend.
drivers nowhere to go.
That's
And
good.
that
Hey, somebody pit it.
is all that contact.
I gained a position
Then gonna make
and start on the inside now.
making his way down into turn number 1, and the vehicle is so
Yeah, Mr. Duff decided to go on down pit road.
already.
You see right there,
It's
the
very nice of him.
is just locked up on Nick
Lock it
Collins, trying to
out,
get it
swing
to
it
turn,
around.
bounce it off the outside
Stay low.
wall.
He said, you know what, that Brian McCann, he needs a break.
At that point, Nick's just doing some
Yeah,
frustrated donuts
you're
there,
right.
and
Let him
you see the
by
Phil
the
trying to come
outside.
by and just
I don't
toes
think
it back to
Nick
pit
knew that
lane.
we
You're
were
going to
pretty
call it a
wide,
night
just
for himself.
one of those things.
That's dangerous. I mean, I understand doing frustrated donuts, but you can only
Let
do
the
that for
Now that Zach's got the lead, he's going to win this
When the
thing.
yellow flag
up
came
so
out.
quickly.
Thank you.
Christopher Norris
Yeah, he absolutely worked his way through.
to make sure they didn't run into the 13, who again calls it a night. And
Yes,
a little bit of confidence.
sometime last night.
Maybe I thought he was going to be the best seat to watch out for if we saw our leaders coming to pit road. Not going to be the case on this go around, as some drivers hitting pit road. Chris Stitz and a few others now making.
Think about it this way.
Still need
About 80 more laps to go
coming to pit road.
under yellow.
Top 8 that are in the tricky spot of when do we come to pit road or do we continue to stay out?
Yeah, they're in a tough spot. Travis Dart, the first of our drivers who have made a second pit stop, he pitted on
Kind of like football. You
I believe
you go really hard at it.
Who came in on
They blow the whistle and you just kind of like walk around, talk a little bit, and you do it again.
Position of those guys who have already made their second pit stop. Sam Siegel behind Brandon Colley. Will Bustler already made a pit stop. Alex Jones pitted on lap 85, so he's also another one of those drivers who
Yeah, what time is
get
it?
to the end with the 19th of Jacob Gray.
It is, survey says, 1040.
Hit on this last caution as well.
Pit road is
I
closed.
mean, it's just
Yeah, it's going to be 11:30, 12 o'clock race, ain't it?
Still hasn't pit Sam since lap 51 in this race. Make a pit stop pretty soon, but for that 38 machine,
These races usually end pretty quick. Not so much tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a rough night.
I'm going to have to pay you extra.
Decisions, but that's kind of what these caution-filled races turn into. Is how do you
I work for Reese's Pieces and Twizzlers.
want to go with the, there's some ideas of do we want to be the first numbers into pit road to make sure we got the track position for when the full cycle goes through. Or do you stay
All right,
out
man, we're
and
going green next time. Bye.
hope for the race to
All right,
stay
man,
green?
line up on the
which
inside
has
row.
not done so yet here tonight, as we're under our 14th caution. This ties the most cautions ever thrown at a Martinsville race. The league
Ties the most cautions ever thrown in a
ARPs.
freaky fast caution.
Back in season 3, been a couple of seasons we've had this time.
Is that what they said? This is the most cautions?
But
Tied it, yeah.
behind the
Get
rough
ready.
patches at Martinsville,
Oh, it's going to be a record breaker then.
Race cars in.
always a tough track to handle at times when the track position just becomes
Just don't break that 8 car.
which I got a feeling the desperation only is going to ramp up more.
All right, get ready.
Caution flag waves here tonight
Green
as the base
flag,
cars in
green
a pit
flag.
Go,
road.
go, go.
Let's have another restart. Next
The
level
lead is
racing
to
200.
44.
Oh, they're getting their
3,
money's
2,
worth to
3,
get that out
outside.
there as we are back to
Stay
green
low.
flag action. Zach Hall, Christopher Norris as
All
the
Clear,
all
101
clear.
outside.
Let's watch
Next.
yourself.
Stay low.
great
There's a
start.
car on
Cameron
the
Sarton
high
didn't get the best of restarts behind our race leader, but going to have a really good opportunity
clear.
here.
How did that guy behind me not
Clear
hit me?
6, clear up.
Norris down the back straightaway, side by side.
I have no idea.
Sarton going to try to roll that
All
outside,
right,
just
looks
like
like
Zach
you're
Hall
in the
did.
top
He did a little bit
10. Got
better
one
exit
outside.
Way to get back inside.
Stay
on
low.
that
There's
inside
a
line,
car
trying to
on the
hold off
high
the
side.
24. The 7, Cedric Hunter going to try to go up and follow
Stay low.
this 24 machine. Brandon Pearson, the 39, also lurking right there behind the 7. Norris
there.
right now able to hold off Cameron Sarton, but Sarton again fighting back on the outside.
Right rear.
Start recognizing
You're clear high.
Clear in.
ahead. A yellow flag comes out that gives me that track position. It looks like the fight
P8.
will be over as Christopher Norris finally solidifies the pass for second. Cedric Hunter going to poke the nose, get underneath the Mickey.
Battle for third. It's going to come back to you.
The 7 going side by
Third,
side.
good.
Get to see the cartoon characters battling it back and forth. Hello Kitty, first Mickey Mouse through 3
All
and
right,
4.
man, caution is
Through
out.
3 and 4
Caution
still
is
side.
Caution's
Line up
out.
single
A little
file.
bit of an
Pit road
advantage
is
to the
closed.
7 of Cedric Hunter as he
Why didn't you stay in ninth?
straight away dive it here into
I know. I looked down. I was like, 8? Are you kidding me?
It is down and will take the advantage over the
Well,
mouse
I mean,
as Christopher Melton be the driver that spins around, bringing out our 15th car.
And these new tires are feeling pretty good up here.
we tie the record. You said it.
And even the old ones at 99.99 were feeling pretty good too.
Here tonight.
I might actually have a chance for top 3 here, I think.
Zach Hall,
Yeah.
Sarton, Brandon
Let's go back through again. So again, you were on pit road, lap 102. Cameron Sarton's going down pit road right now.
It's only moved up to 8th place with all these cautions.
And if he
I still think
is, let's
until
take, unless he's blinking.
that of 40.
No, he's on pit road. Okay.
Cameron Sarton into pit road. Not waiting is the 24. The reason why I say, hey, wait, see where it's going to be at, because then you have a lot more tire wear to work with. You're forcing the other drivers to be with the older tires, and maybe around
First car one lap down is going to be 27, so I'm not quite sure where Cameron's going to log in or slide in.
Maybe a little bit more drivers being takers to come into pit road.
Yeah, I think waiting is
I can't remember if they have a rule of no warming tires up or not. I don't see anybody else doing it, so I might not want to do it.
Him to the back of the field, but I mean, we've seen him work his way from the back to the
They got a long list of rules.
Everybody except second place Chris Norris was on pit road last on lap 61. He was in on lap 51, so you got 50 lap fresher tires than him and 40 lap fresher tires than everybody else.
24th, that's just such a
I felt like I was able to beat them off. Most of the cars in front of me beat them off the corner.
Yeah.
Compared to the rest of the field. As Zach Hall, Christopher Norris, Cedric Hunter are going to be your front runners.
I just need more green flag laps.
And for us, it gives us time to shout out.
I mean, lap 121, 22, 24, and 25, you were,
Racing.
what, 2 tenths, 1 tenth, 4 tenths, and then 1 tenth faster than everybody else around you.
Sim Studios to go check.
Talking about at least 6th and 8th. So you were moving.
Today, if you're trying to, save fuel with a push of a button by turning off your engine and turning it back on, or if you're a race admin and you need to throw quick yellow or clear black flags, bang bang, you've got the button box to allow you to do all the actions in a quick manner. Go check out Gersim Studios
I practiced like
and Facebook.
a 90 lap run, and that was a waste of time.
Looks like in button boxes. And as well, you've seen them on William Duff.
Yeah, you get to work on your rhythm.
A couple of others. It's the on the throttle.
Should have worked on maintaining 37 miles per hour.
Talks about weekly racing that goes on in real life racing action, from NASCAR to other big wide range racing sports. Hey, go check out episode 71 today on Spotify or any other.
Oh man, I get so scared every time we go down in a turn 4.
All right, man, we're going green
today.
next time.
Thanks so much.
Oh, I'm talking about karting right now.
Wilson Racing Series. Trevor, again, that's going to be the talking point for, I think, for most.
I don't remember if it was the pre-final or final, but I got shoved down into turn 4 full lock going into it on karting, and some people wrecked. I got lucky and was able to save my kart, but somebody just didn't hit the brake behind me. I don't know who that was.
These drivers up front do, and then the other question is,
all right, pace cars off.
Brian McCann, Brandon Colley, Cameron Sarton, how well are they going to be able to get through this traffic, and how many more cautions are we going to see here tonight as we get ready for this restart?
Green flag.
He's going into pit road. Zach Hall, Christopher Norris will be your front two. It's 100
nice.
laps.
All clear,
Now
all clear.
in the books. Let's start 129. As Zach Hall, what a launch for himself. Christopher Norris had the easiest move on the inside to keep second, as Doug Pierce, Cedric Hunter battle side by side for third place.
Yeah, Doug Pierce, Cedric Hunter are going to battle that out for third place. And Cedric just trying to do everything he can to get clear of this 39 and then go attack the 38 to see if he can run down Zach Hall. But right now, that battle for third still side by side down the front straightaways. Cedric Hunter going to drive it in a little bit deeper than the 39
Clear in.
of Brandon Pierce. Going to clear the 39 now and try to go attack Christopher Norris.
The 26 hit a little bit of the curb. Going to lose a little bit of time to you.
Alexander.
Leader just posted the fastest lap at 19.5.
Myers finally able to clear and get some.
Damn, 19.5.
So he got past the 26 Travis Dart.
For Brian McCann, it has just been a slow march, just a position on each restart. And
I can't get no exit on him.
still plenty of racing, 70 laps to go here tonight. Another driver to watch out for, Brandon Colley, who gave up running up front for the lead, has now moved back up to 10. The 99 Mark Machine is on the charge, trying to catch up to the battle that you see here between Ken Campbell and as well going to be Dalton Alexander and Brian McCann.
Yeah, trying to catch up. He's got to get past Josh Walters, Travis Dart in front of him to get to the rear bumper of the 8 of Brian McCann. Able to get past Will Bustler, Philip Chavez, Jacob Grant, and now it sets his sights on the 94 of Josh Walters, closing in out of turn number 4, trying to set up this pass on this 94 machine, who's had a pretty good recovery run for himself as well. Was involved in our first 2 cautions of the night. You see a little bit of rear end damage on the 94 as Brandon Colley caught up to him.
Yeah, as he's trying to figure out how to get by the 94 machine.
Top 7 very, very equal on speed. Basically just changing hundredths. So it's going to basically be just running about your line and waiting on somebody in front of you to make a mistake. Just like that, he hit the curb. Go low.
A little bit.
There you go.
The aggression.
Still there. The lead
Bouncing
just
up
did
a little bit higher as our top
0.659. You're clear
That's
high,
what I'm talking
clear
about.
high.
12 drivers are in line with one another. It's going to be a lot of side-by-side racing back in 13th between Jay Becker and Philip Chavez. They continue to put some aggression on as another pass by Brian McCann up to 6.
All right, man. Caution is
Dang
out.
it.
Caution is out.
Caution's
Line
out.
up single file.
Quickly
Pit road
trying
is
to get-
closed.
Passed him too early.
Well, let's see.
Chavez locks up
Maybe Chris Norris will go down pit road.
as well. Oh,
Nah, they ain't pitting.
the back of the 17 in turn number 3.
And it's that caution.
Let's see. Sarton,
Drivers, we're hoping not to be involved in that one. Talked about the
he's made his way up to 16th or 17th.
just a little bit too aggressive. And that aggression got himself in trouble, same for the 10. He got
Hitting
some
in,
massive
obviously.
collisions for
Pit road is
themselves.
now
We take a
open.
look at what brought out our most recent yellow.
You know, really, we're racing for the bracket challenge here. Who's my...
Slides for
I think it's Jonathan Burt in 23, so that's who I'm competing against right now.
Beckard and as
23. All right. Well, let's see.
for the 10 as
Thank you, sir.
see that from Bumper getting launched for himself.
Yeah, somebody's front.
I
bumper is
don't
just,
see a
break
23 in here.
through there, 3 and
Position 23, car number 6.
Oh, okay.
The 6 is front bumper of Jonathan Burt. I believe he got help from behind from the 3 of Ryan Lynch into the back of the 17. of Chris
He's okay. Jonathan Burt. Yeah, he's back in 22nd.
for a crossover move.
He qualified 22nd. He's still in 22nd.
Got spun around, clipped the 10 of
Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing that I
chain reaction.
can lose here is the bracket challenge if I drop behind him.
What month it is?
Got ya.
We are in September, not October just yet. Let's get the ghosts out of here as the drivers are preparing. We're now in history books. We have tied the most cautions in the Full Send Racing Series.
Still going for a top 5 though, so.
Wreck,
Sure.
massive one
Let the
for the drivers that were
44
involved.
car
Jay
by.
Beckard and Ryan Lynch getting themselves with required damage. David McConnell.
And you know, they're going to get a little racy. I think Hall's probably just got it. You know, I don't think anybody can catch him, but Norris and Hunter and
It's a lot of them
Pierce, they might get to battling.
being caught up late in these incidences.
Caught up kind of in a couple of cautions ago in a wreck, I believe.
I'm
And
gonna take a look at the car in front of you, Ken Campbell.
just called it a night for himself. Or, I'm sorry, David McConnell was involved in it earlier.
I didn't know he had a YouTubes.
Tony Brent, 28, was involved in a wreck a couple of cautions ago. But Chris Ditt's calling it a night for himself. He's had enough. That car's gonna, I'm pretty sure, go in
His car is telling me otherwise.
17's team here tonight.
Yeah, that is one that you rip
Road
apart,
is
you
closed.
never look back to. It has been a rough night. The highest point you say was qualified 6th, and then constantly was moving backwards and never was able to recover.
His car's looking pretty good.
Chris Ditz and
I don't see any issue on
how his
that thing
season
whatsoever.
was going, for that machine. Came into the night 14th in points, just needed a solid day. It's going to be one of those races you just throw away and set up for next week, which next week, I know one driver that's excited. That's the driver leading the race here tonight, Zach Hall. He is feeling very confident and comfortable. And the last time that he ran at Indianapolis Motor Speedway at the Oval Course, he utterly dominated here in the Full Send Racing
All right, man, we're
Series.
going
And he
green
feels
next time
like
by.
that same
All right, man.
confidence
Line
is
up on the
still
outside
lingering
road now.
to today
Keep
on the
digging.
dominance that he's expecting to show next week at Indy and then Phoenix, which was the finale race last season. Who can run well there? Talladega going to be after Phoenix. Those are
At Indy next
three
week.
races on the schedule.
Love it.
Full Send Racing Series.
Yeah, I think you look to
Get
know
I
ready.
said the last season, the 32 was at Indy. He absolutely
man.
dominated. So
Eight cars
see
in.
what happens.
those guys that were here in season 3 that remember that.
right, buddy, get ready.
We'll wait and see when we get there, and then Phoenix, the flat track, and then we go super speedway racing after that. I mean, it's a great mix of
Ready.
these tracks.
Green flag, green flag.
Go, go.
We get ready for another
The leader
restart.
just did a
And Zach Hall, Christopher Norris,
44.208
Brandon Pierce,
inside.
top 3, Cedric Hunter, going to be also in
Say hi.
fourth. As green flag is back in the air, 32,
Still
great
there.
launch. Christopher Norris trying to defend both lanes for that 38 machine.
Still there.
Great defensive work as Christopher Norris will solidify himself into second. The rest of the field will
You're
be
back
stacked
in
2 by
fifth.
2,
Say hi.
moving
Here's the
through.
car on the low
And
side.
Zach Hall feels comfortable and confident, trying to pull away. But Cedric Hunter, they need some help. It's more spacing. Needs Christopher
Still there.
Norris to maybe
Hold the
pull
line.
away just a little bit to have that spacing to take their
Clear
position.
low, clear
Yeah,
low.
so
Clear in, clear in.
Brandon Pearson. I
All
gotta
right,
give a
man,
huge shout out to Christopher Norris. I mean, this
Line
man
up single
is
file. Pit road is
on
clear.
laps on this set of tires and doing a great
15 was loose off the corner there. I'll have to keep an eye on that.
I know that was my opportunity if it would have stayed
Yeah.
green.
Yep.
Pit road
Off
is
the
now open.
exit at turn 3. And over the
Fifth would have been nice to have right here.
from Josh
Yes, it would.
Moses. And that will bring out our 17th caution.
You've got the newest tires in the top 8.
That's why I was trying so hard on the outside to kind of have my nose maybe ahead of him if it came out again.
Victim gets spun around and he'll have to fight through the field once again.
Yeah, I went back and looked at
Yeah, that little bit of a hiccup that he had, you were 7 tenths faster than him.
Altus got him sideways, got up into the 99. Brandon Colley, and if you're Brandon Colley, Sam, do you come down and take another set of tires here? I mean, you're already at the back of the field. Why not come in, get another set of 4 fresh tires and see what you can do here?
55 to go.
Set of tires. Also joining with the 99, Cameron Sartin and Trey Jackson, John Dart, Sam Siegel taking a set. And this is, I think, you know, we're talking about it.
I appreciate it, man.
With
Looking at the
50 to
field
40
right
laps
now.
to go, might be the time to take tires. Hey, why not lap 55 with 55 laps to go? This is a perfect window of having the tire advantage that you're looking for, that you know that you'll have the grip to make some big moves. Yes, you're going to deal with a lot of chaos and maybe some more big wrecks that are going to pile up, but might as well try to attack with some fresh rubber as, again, this field was given a total of 4 to work with. Most of the field has only used 1, maybe 2 sets of tires here tonight, so they still got a couple of sets to work with.
Yeah, I mean, plenty of sets still to work with, especially for our lead pack here in terms of tires. And I'm right there with you. Why not come in, use them now? I mean, you're already at the back of the field, especially if you're Cameron Sartin, Brandon Colley, and get that tire advantage. You try to work your way up through the field. I mean, you're still going to have to, I think, avoid some chaos in front of you and get lucky there to get some track position. And eventually, I'm gonna guess that Zach Hall, our top 5, are gonna have to pit at some point here, especially Christopher Norris, Sam, who is coming up on 100 laps.
Yeah, I mean, with the amount of yellows that we've had, I believe these drivers could go maybe 120 laps. It's maybe close to 130 laps on fuel and tires, which is going to put Norris in that tricky window of maybe being able to make it, but that's still a long way to go if you're this 38 machine. I just, it's so difficult to make the call now. I think having Cameron Sartin, Colley, and others coming to pit road, just showing this is so tough to just work your way through the field,
All right, man, we're
even
going
with the
green
slight
next
tire
time by.
advantage that they
All right,
have.
man. Line up on the
Yeah, I
outside
think
road
if
now.
you're Christopher Norris, I think you do whatever the leader
77
does.
parked
I
on the
mean,
middle
you
of the
come
back
down pit
stretch.
road with them if they pit. If not, I think you stay out and you try to save.
I really think you pit at the perfect time.
Holding on
Yeah,
to the
sorry
second
about that.
position on these restarts, holding off
Think I
Brandon Pearson,
disconnected.
Cedric Hunter on those tires. So why not continue
Get
to stay
ready.
out
Coming up now.
and try to see what you can do? I mean, Brian
big car's
McCann
in.
only up to 5th position, Sam, and I mean he pitted on lap 102. He's been out there for 46 laps.
All right, buddy, you ready? Close up.
Tires and has only been able to get up to 5th.
Yeah, when he started this journey, he was in 11th.
flag,
I mean,
green
flag.
he's only been able to move so far in just
Lead
45 laps. The amount of cautions that have ballooned out.
You got one
And
inside.
now, see how these drivers that have
Still
just came to
there.
pit road, those are that are on older tires up front, and hold their position.
clear in.
All clear.
Back to green flag action.
You
A
got
little
one
bit of deja
inside.
vu on how they wanted to run that restart, but
Stay
Way to
high.
pendulum down.
Can he's on the outside, trying to work his way forward
Clear low,
as he's
clear
up
low.
to 5th place.
Inside.
Yep, to
You're
5th
back in
place.
fifth.
Clears the 15
All right, man,
of Ken
caution it out.
Campbell.
Check it
Almost
out.
a little bit of
Line up
contact
single
with
file.
Machine
Pit
Lee.
road
Got it.
closed.
Actually able to
Pass
get to
the
Definitely.
pace
Oh,
car.
of McCann.
yes, you did. Good job.
Drive off.
Way to be aggressive.
Line is contact behind and cautions out.
Joshua Altis, as well as Philip Chavez and others piling in and just getting new rubber. And it's Vernal. Brandon Colley gets into the mix lane.
Bad to good.
One position every 10 caution laps.
Colley, I mean, just unfortunate for the 99 machine to see the 28 there. Tony Brent involved as well. And what
Pit
could
road
have been
now
for the
open.
99 machine, Sam, is the night just continues to, like you said, snowball for himself.
What?
Altis, Tony Brent.
What?
We're going to be seeing here.
Ah!
What are they doing?
Wall, but then Jacob Grant comes down.
I mean, I'm not complaining, but what are they doing?
28, and And then it's a wall of drivers. They all.
I don't know. 32 is last in.
The outside line thinking it was going to be clear, but everybody came back up the track in front of the 99 machine.
61.
Almost clip. I believe that was the 24 of Cameron starting the 27.
I have no idea.
And
Car
now
44.
do drivers pit
Got
Zach?
Well, think about it. Maybe they don't know something that you do,
In Campbell.
that their tire wear was going to be 99.99 after so many laps.
I mean,
I have no idea.
portion of drivers coming into pit road. I think this is the one thing that's staying out.
Let's take a look at. I mean, the car in front of you is pretty damaged up too.
Wanted to have more drivers come to pit road, so they were minimizing the amount of positions they were going to lose instead of falling
Let the
directly down
44
outside the top
car by.
20.
Looks like he's been jacked up in the rear a few times.
Inside of the top 20, and right now Zach Hall, Christopher Norris, 16th and 17th.
I think that was a mistake. How many cars they got?
Most recent
How
incident.
many cars they got between them and me? About 14?
Him get put into a bad situation.
Let's see.
He was in. Looked like he got some late contact by the two-time champ of Cameron Sarton.
151. Yeah, 14.
To
Um,
accident. That's why we saw
The newest tires before them
drivers that being
is going to be
also
P10.
that Tony Brent.
I'm sorry, P11 for Sam Siegel.
Looks like for
Lap 138 for Brian Wilson and Philip Chavez.
pit road with required
108 for Will Bustler and Jacob Grant, and then you for lap 102, kind of splitting it right down the middle. So you're gonna be able to get the lead here.
Racing series.
You're just gonna have to really defend in the late running.
Maybe it will be a record that could be never touched again.
It's the one positive way to look at it. I mean, if we keep having issues, I mean, we'll just make a new record, and hopefully we won't see that record come to be broken. Who knows? But Brandon Pierce going to lead us back to the green flag. Brian McCann's going to.
I mean, we'll see how it plays out, but I'm still shocked they pitted.
Brandon Colley stayed out even with that little bit of damage. He's going to stay out.
'Cause
And
I couldn't pass him.
Cameron Sarton came back down pit road after the contact he made with the 99, so he's going to start behind Ken Campbell back there in 19th. But it's going to be interesting
All
to
right,
see
man, we're
Zach
going
Hall
green
Norris
next
Shoot, I couldn't even get around
All right, man.
fifth.
trying
Line
to
up
work
on
their
the
way
outside
back
That was
road
tough.
to this field, and which one of them, Sam, might get involved in some trouble.
Who will stay out of trouble with less than 50 laps to go? We are officially inside of the final quarter of tonight's
12
race.
spots and 50 laps. It's not bad,
I mean,
considering there was only about 10 green flag
ready?
laps there.
from having the tire advantage
Okay,
over
car.
Everybody, you ready?
laps on the rest of the field to now Brian.
11 behind you, 26 behind the leader.
He's got to be careful of all those drivers behind him that are going to have over a 49 lap advantage over them
Ready?
themselves. Brandon Pierce
Ring,
up there
ring,
on
ring.
track
All right,
as well as
you're back
Dalton
Go, go,
Alexander
go.
on
Pit road
track.
now.
He waited till he was late in the box.
Let's see how well they can hold on to track
44.26.
position here as we're back into the restart zone
Inside.
for the next level racing 200 at Barnesville.
there.
Race number 10 back underway.
Still
Pierce
there?
with a
Hold the
good
line.
restart for himself. But McCann going to try to hold on to the outside. Here comes Travis Dart in the
Stay high.
26. Trying to fight back to the inside of the
Clear
8.
low,
Clear in.
clear low.
Pierce going to block the 8 of McCann. McCann going to still try to roll that high side. The 11 of Dalton Alexander
one
will
out.
Keep it low. Good job. New leader, 8 car.
between those two. But McCann going to be able to clear that 26 machine and hold on to that second place position.
As there is a wall bouncing up the 45 and the 55 as Pierce outside gets pushed out of the way.
There you
As
go,
39
man.
machine
You're now the leader.
just went from first all the way down to 6th in a blink of an eye. As that outside lane is not paying dividends on the old extremely older tires. Brian McCann to the lead. And the
Your best lap ever, 19.6. Last lap, 19.7. You've lost nothing. Keep it rolling.
Starting a little bit of a braking issue for the 39. Got him loose into turn number 1. Had to chase it all the way up the track. Lost all that track position. And a big wiggle from the 26 allows the 11 and the 1 to get close to Travis Dart.
0.8 of a gap back to Travis Dart.
Also almost saw all 3 of those get taken out with the 11 of Dalton Alexander. As it's really testy up here at the front with the 19 of Jacob Grant. Also getting involved, a little bit of contact between him and Alexander, but everybody keeps it straight down the back straightaway.
feels like it's been a while.
Race management now. You don't need 10 seconds.
Also seeing the consistency from Travis Dart and Will Bustler. Now they're trying to find a great finish after the timing of these yellows have solidified them inside of the top.
Second over P2.
Currently, but this field's got to be careful. Zach Hall has moved up to 10th place already with the passes that 30 was made. Now he's hit a wall of drivers trying to figure out where the speed is going to be at to make these passes efficiently. with 40 laps to go, it's all on the line. You got to make these passes and don't get caught up in anyone else's mess.
You don't want to get caught up in anybody's mess. Don't want to get caught
Caution's
up in the line and lose track position. He's got the 7 Cedric Hunter just following him through, using that 32 as a pick to get through the field.
Wee.
How about that?
But caution's out.
It's the 6. It's going to be Jonathan Burt. Hard on the brakes and sliding down into entry turn 3. Self spin. Another caution here tonight, which honestly.
Well, he didn't. Zach made it up to 9th, though. That's pretty good.
And Cedric Hunter, as it brings the field back together, making these passes could be a little bit more efficient as they're clumped up with one another.
Yeah. You figure 5 laps of caution each time.
Good little gap there as well. Bustler, Alexander, Travis Start, Jacob Grant.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm still sitting pretty here because
for what's going to should be stop of the night.
A lot more cautions opportunities available here, so we might just sit here and do this all night.
A lot of traffic to work through, but this is
late in the race.
And get that 32 and that 7 machine closer to the 8 of Brad.
And of course, as a control car, you've always got that. You've always got that launch that they can't completely determine.
Take a quick step away here tonight. Give ourselves a break. Give the drivers as they're pacing to cool off. Get ready for less than 40 laps to go for the Full Racing Series. You're watching race number 10, the Next Level Racing 200 at Martinsville. We will be back right after this to see who's winning here tonight.
These broadcasters take too many breaks.
Easy. But experience.
Well, in their defense, we're just out here running pace laps.
The industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas.
That's where you talk about points and talk about drivers and talk to the drivers.
Other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level.
You know what, Nathan? I never looked at the time. I don't know. It was one headlight, I can tell you that. I did go back and look at the physical difference. I don't know about time difference.
Most accurate driving experience possible.
One headlight worth.
Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind
I don't think I've ever heard 9/11 called Patriots Day.
Visit iRacing.com.
All right, man, we're going green next time. Bye. All right, man, line up on the inside row.
Restart's going to be on you. 11 cars behind you, 1 to your outside. Travis Dart, P4, Jacob Grant, P5.
The pace car is in.
You're in the box.
Green, green, green.
Good jump.
Defenders contact very nearly. He just to the outside. He breaks so much later. Raskin can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second part, and he can't hold on.
Going the long way around. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quick thrust to force it off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it.
They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. First on the bottom. Bouchard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. Deep bang doors, but keep it clean.
As that's still 4 wide on the run down at the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
No back into the fence. They're still beating and banging.
Oh
and through the line.
He is much faster.
Caution's out.
Is there damage on Chandler?
30 to go.
This is ahead. It's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
Runner stood outside when I was in the corner.
catch the 8 car, catch the 44 car, catch the 3 car, catch the 8 car.
What was my lap times there?
Yep, can do.
Obviously,
Let's see.
time it went
66, 42, I'm sorry, 67 when you went back green flag, 20.1, 19.7, 19.9, and now under caution 20.5.
As the field
Does
goes
anyone know
green,
what
a
maximum
couple of
oil
wild
temp is?
moves go around, but it's the back half of the field getting caught up in a mess
Red.
as John Dart gets pushed around
I
and
think it's
collecting a
310.
few
I don't
drivers
remember that.
with him. No one's going to be having to require damage, but repairs should be going underway. My name is Sam Dyer. With me up in the booth is Travis. It's going to be Trevor Earhart, as it has been a wild race of looking how these drivers are being up front. But Travis Dart's still up front. We're also looking at Dalton Alexander, a fill-in driver, but one driver we were pointing out under commercial break was the fact that the 9 is inside of the top.
Zach didn't advance any. Cameron, I wasn't really watching him, but he's at 8th now.
Been at the back of the field, but now up inside the top 10.
And then Cedric Hunter
run for
is 6th with the new tires.
Yeah.
Unfortunate position of having Cedric Hunter.
But if you think about the difference between
Brandon Colley all around him on
lap 1, lap 50, with all the yellow flag laps, it's pretty much the same as what you had when you went down pit road.
I think what's interesting here.
So you have a general idea of what his tires are like right now.
Pit road and maybe make that final stop.
I'm thinking more
Just the same as yours.
Majority of the drivers, as being Cedric Hunter, Cameron Sargent, Zach
Demolition
Cole, they
derby
made
on
their
the dirt.
stop. They're good to stay out. Same could be made for Brian McCann.
Yeah, no
Dalton
caution.
Alexander, he has been out there for over 110
game
laps
time,
on the tire and fuel stand. And with less than 30 laps to go, I believe with the amount of caution laps that we've had, if they continue to go at this pace, the 11 should be all right to keep the position he's in, and also his tires should last to make it to the end of this race.
Hey, why not give it a shot? We've seen what the back half of the field is like.
Yeah, the broadcast was just talking about the 11 of Dalton Alexander. Last time he was on pit road was lap 61.
And go to the
So he's got some very old tires.
Who knows?
Travis Dart was last on pit road lap 93. So he's getting close to 90 lap old tires as well.
Here's some drivers in the pit road.
So you got those guys that are going to try to run that bottom line will be playing a little bit of a blocker for you. So you'll still have a little bit of gap on those that are coming up behind you on newer tires. But again, the tires have not been wearing all that much.
For getting kind of open for a bone to be given is Curtis Valechka, who's been out there the longest.
25 to go.
On the inside row.
Fuel 153 laps is the 44, but he's been out there trying to get his laps back. At one moment tonight, he was 8 laps down, currently 4 laps down. You got to give kudos to the 44, who continues to stay out on track, even with the early troubles that he found himself in.
Hey, might find himself up inside the top.
This is the only time of the race I'm hoping for cautions.
Fall out of this thing, who knows? But Sam getting lined up here for another restart. This is going to come with about 26 laps to go in the race. We've seen a lot of aggression.
Get ready. He's on you tight.
When we were at commercial break, saw some more aggression on this.
You're in the box.
Who knows what we're going to see on this one?
Well, it seems like our top
Good jump. 11 spun him a little bit. Clear up.
And they find the braking zone as our top 2 riding on top of one another into the restart zone. Dalton Alexander, Brian McCann. McCann with the better launch. A little bit of wheel spin deeper in the field, but a huge dive from the 26 on the outside.
Travis Dart trying to get around those older tires.
Caution's out.
With the one of Will Bussler, Cedric Hunter.
21st caution.
Grant, Cedric Hunter on the freshest of tires. There goes the 9 of Brian McCann. Takes out the 24 and the 32.
And as well, Cedric Hunter goes up the outside wall for the 7 machine. What was looking like a promising move up through the field.
Oh, that got Zach.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Got Zach, got Cedric Hunter.
And Bangin gets pushed up and damage to the 7. But
Yeah.
even bigger contact for other drivers in that incident.
It just all started with the 9 of Brian Wilson. I think just again too much rear brake in it. I think it was a little bit of contact from the 19 of Jacob Grant. The guy
You said 21 cautions?
the outside.
Yes, sir.
Right here, the 9 just gets in way too deep, gets into the 24 right in front of them. The 19 gets into the 7.
That's
Zach Hall
impressive.
Sargent
Got
gets
the lucky dog, let it by on the
93.
outside.
Christopher Melton, who was having a great run for himself up in the top 10, also involved. But just more kind of chaos and carnage as these restarts get more and more aggressive, as these drivers get more and more desperate to get these.
And we only got 31 cars out here. Normally we pull like 35 to 40.
32 immediately after being involved in that.
Wow, that was weird. The 9 car under brake, he just completely went sideways. I'm gonna guess he had to jam on the brakes, and his brake bias was all kinds of wrong.
Like, hey, what's the point? I'm
32 towed, so he's gonna automatically go to the back.
Tonight, I'm just gonna take a step out. No longer want to be a part of this mess, as we've got ourselves coming up to less than 20 laps to go when we go back to green flag action.
And I mean, it's just going to get more and more aggressive. And for Cedric Hunter,
Darton's back to 19th.
A lot of track position, maybe 2 spots for himself, I believe.
Newest tire is going to be Cedric Hunter in the 7, and I think he was actually just part of that. Let me go back.
He's got the 99 of Brandon Colley behind him, Christopher Norris there. I mean, so still a chance for Cedric to get up there and get to Brian McCann, but I mean, with these caution laps just keep ticking away, it's only doing Brian McCann, Dalton Alexander, Travis Dart, Will Bustler, and those guys more and more good for them.
Oh no, Cedric Hunter might have been given a penalty of going to the end of the line. He just parked it,
keep it going or is it out?
And let the field go.
Kart race with this many laps is not physically possible.
Going from
7, Cedric Hunter just got an EOL.
And it looks like here in reports, his VR system looks
to the rear and parked it.
Bad. This has been a troublesome spot.
VR issues.
VR drivers every once in a while, and it looks like for Cedric.
Now they do those 24-hour karting events, but they swap out teammates.
Brian McCann's feeling a lot more comfortable.
I've done a 12-hour. That was rough.
Cedric Hunter still trying.
I don't think I would ever do that again.
Because he's on the apron to pit road, and there's
yeah, my gear went black, and then my pedals hung, so then it blew my engine.
Unfortunate night for Cedric Hunter. What was looking
that's unfortunate
run for him, and was in a pretty decent position even after the spin. Just now goes up in smoke for himself. Is the 7 machine on pit road and out for the evening.
All right, bud, 11's on you tight again.
Report his VR system.
Very tight on you.
His throttle pedal hung, meaning it's full throttle.
In the box.
That's why it coasted into the barrier. As the field, well, the rest of them, we've got a total of 21 on the lead lap. It's Dalton Alexander tries to get a win as a part-timer on Brian.
11 on the right rear.
Winner this season, going for his 5th win. Already some heavy braking by the one Will Bustler as we're back to green flag action. Less than 20 laps to go.
Less than 20 to go, and not clear of the 11 of Alexander. Alexander driving it in deep, trying to stay to the outside. I mean, even on those older tires, Sam, he's putting up a heck of a fight with the aid of Brian McCann still to the outside as they battle for the lead, going back into 1 and 2. Travis Dart just hanging right there behind him, waiting to see who's going to slip up, who's going to make the mistake. As Dart runs in 3rd, but this
caution's out.
Continues into 3 and 4.
He was all over your quarter panels on that.
Oh no!
Coming to green lap.
Philip Chavez going to be spun around.
He was wanting that nose out when that caution flew.
Yes, he was.
With this caution flag. But I was going to say our top 5.
He was turning some laps on that outside line.
Tires, while Brandon Colley only got 39 laps on his tire.
Yeah, he was faster. Lap 180, 181, and 182. 181, he was faster by 0.3.
And it's going to keep taking.
I slid on one of those. That might have been it.
But I got to say, Dalton Alexander looked really feisty on those older tires. We're going to look and see what happens here. Philip Chavez down the back straightaway, side-by-side battling there with the 5 of John Dart. Just gets too deep into 3 and 4, and around goes the 101 heavy contact to the outside wall.
No, that one looked like maybe a little bit of issues on trying to maybe put more brake into it. It's just the braking zones have been shifting a lot for drivers, and the braking zones to the brake bias have not been matching to bring out another caution here tonight as it builds up. And the time
he timed it perfect. He was guessing when I was going to go.
Dalton Alexander on Brian McCann.
You could play a little bit of a game, go later in the box this time.
Bet against Brian McCann.
See if you can't get him a black flag.
H just been looking too strong.
True, because if I wouldn't have went exactly when I went, he probably would have got a black flag.
Yeah.
Lost a bunch of track position, but gained it all back.
I think 3 green, white, checkered.
All his contenders that used to challenge the 8 here tonight, all have found bad luck. Have set the 8 up in this great spot.
Yeah, I mean, you think back to it, Brandon Colley, Christopher Norris take each other out early on.
And I'm sure we use them all.
Tonight after being caught up in an incident. Cedric Hunter with the VR issues out of the race is
very possible.
Cameron Sarton, who was looking quick, caught up in the same incident with Zach Hall. I mean, just all the guys that you would think would be up there fighting with Brian McCann.
We're good on time. We got 30 minutes left.
He's going to restart this.
Hopefully.
Pit road is
Campbell
closed.
back there as well on fresher tires in 7th, Norris in 9th. But I mean, Sam, we're running out of laps, 15 to go, and looking like the restart maybe with 14 or 13 laps to go. Will Dalton Alexander have another great restart like he did and be able to put up another fight?
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be tough. I mean, you put in so much heat on that last run, hoping that this pacing, the heat cycle helps you out and assists. I'll find out. Ken Campbell, Brandon Colley going to be the freshest of rubber back in 6th and 7th. Can they get any opportunity? Because with the laps ticking away, it kind of takes away any chance that they have with their fresh rubber. I think Ken Campbell, you look at vehicles that look in one piece with fresh rubber, the 15 looks like he's got the best chance.
All right, man, line up on the
Up
inside
front,
row.
it's Brian McCann. It's in complete control for this group. So we wait for the one to go marker as it is given to the field. Picking the inside is the 8 machine.
Picking the inside. Question is going to be, can he time this restart and get a good jump on the 11, or will Alexander be able to get another great jump like he did last time? And if he does, what's going to happen behind him? Will Bustler, Travis Dart. Then you've got Jacob Grant, Brandon Colley on the fresh tires. How's that going to go? We saw a little bit of...
I would actually go right as you get into the box, not later.
That inside line, will it happen again this time? Will
Green
we
flag,
get more of the...
There you go.
Will we see
Good jump.
caution? Sam, those are the questions as we get ready for this restart.
And we do have overtime, if necessary, for this field as we hit the restart zone. Here we go. It's Brian McCann, Dalton Alexander, and Sander did not get the launch that he needed. Instead of being on the outside, he'll have to drop down low, set up for a good run. But it looks like for Brian McCann, just too strong of a push. But battling for 4th place, it's going to be the 99, and Brandon Colley fighting back, trying to grab these positions for a chance to battle for these front runners.
Trying to get by the one of Will Bustler. Contact made. Bustler in the wall. Colley saves it. They're spinning behind him. They keep it straight. We stay green somehow.
Caution's out.
3, 4,
11 to go.
5, trying to go through this course, but yet somehow keep it straight. We stay green. Will I throw that away? They're wrecking on the backstretch.
77 William Duff into the inside wall. The 27 spins to avoid him. We restack, restart one more time.
I barely got
Brandon
clipped by
Colley
Brandon
up
and
to
the car
4th, Sam.
turned
Maybe
left
even
and
after
you're
that
coming
contact
up
with
and
Will
barely
Bustler.
clipped
You should just go down pit
No,
road.
no, that was the whole show for about
Yeah,
the whole
I
lap
mean,
a lap.
gaining the spot up to 4th. Ken Campbell going to be up in 5th. That's going to be
Give something to broadcasters to talk about.
this as race control.
That's right.
Steve Benjamin for running and race control. Going to bring out. Going to be let us know.
So lap 186, you were about a tenth and a half faster, 4 100ths, and then 3 tenths faster than P2. So you were doing your thing. He was throwing it into the corner a little bit deeper than you, but you were beating him off the corner.
And looking at the tires situation for these drivers, again, it's very skewed on the amount of caution laps we've had. So it's really hard to say, hey, this is for sure where
23rd caution.
You know, green flag running laps compared to yellow flag laps. But based off the data that we have, Brian McCann going to be on 90 lap old tires. Dalton Alexander on 131 lap old tires. Travis Dart on 99 lap old tires.
I'm good.
Brandon Colley on 47 lap old tires. Ken Campbell, Christopher Norris, 40 lap old tires.
I'm used to no sleep.
Then it's going to be Burt in the 6th machine. Jonathan Burt, 22 laps ago since he went into pit road, but his data not informing.
Shoot, right now I'm racing on.
I believe he was evading an incident. That's
5 hours of sleep, I think.
Data's kind of skewed on the last time that he came in to get service done, but our top 6, it's 4th, 5th, and 6th with freshest of rubber. But can they have enough time
You work from home?
to battle our top 3?
Yeah, it's going to be
hybrid.
The question, even if they have enough time. I mean, if Colley
Hybrid,
can pick
gotcha.
off 1, maybe 2 of these guys and get a caution, he might have a shot at Brian McCann. Norris there going to be as well, Campbell as well, and Jonathan Burt. I mean, Sammy, he's been involved in several incidents himself.
You're going to go back green with 5 to go.
I mean, just a never give up attitude from some of these guys.
Just hope you don't get another jump like you did that one time.
Dalton
That was
Alexander,
nerve-wracking.
oldest tires.
Yeah, the reason I said don't go deep in the box because you're going to give him a better opportunity to try to guess when you're going to go. If you go as soon as that front bumper crosses the line, you get a better launch.
We don't talk about how many times.
Yeah,
he's going to
true. Because he
he
can predict late in the box, but he can't really predict start of the box.
Right.
Attitudes. Well, there's a handful.
Because he's got to be behind you anyway.
Over 10 times tonight. Joshua Altus has pitted
All right,
11
man, we're going
times
green
tonight.
next time
Trey
by.
Jackson
All
has
right, man,
pitted
line up on
19
the
times.
inside row.
Ryan Wilson has pitted 18 times, but it's Ryan Lynch, who's still on the lead lap, has pitted 25 times here tonight, still able to keep the engine running and trying to figure out how far ahead can the 3 finish here this evening with less than 10 laps to go. It's going to be a 5-lap shootout when we go back to Green Flag Racing. Thank you for joining with us. It's been a long one. There's been a lot of wrecks, a lot of damage.
All right, buddy, let's do this.
To be the front runner for the 8 machine. Dalton Alexander in second. Brandon
He's on you tight. On you tight.
Travis Dart, Christopher Norris, Ken Campbell.
Ready? Go, go, go.
Now the end of this race.
There you go.
Get another quick caution. This could be putting us into overtime. As the pitch cars into pit road. Here we go. Brian McCann, Dalton Alexander into the restart zone, and Alexander. A little bit of a decent launch, not close enough to get to the outside. Travis Dart right to the rear bumper, almost contact as he exits at 2.
Yeah, Travis trying to fend off the 99 of Brandon Colley. Drove it in really deep, almost got to the back of the 11. Colley almost gets into the back of the 26. Here comes Christopher Norris to the outside. But this is what McCann needs. He needs those
Caution's out.
behind him.
Green white checker.
Out a gap is Colley. Norris side by side again. Travis Dart trying to hold on for.
He's giving me a hell of a run though.
Yeah, he's throwing it into the box really deep.
The 12 of Trey Jackson.
Yeah, but I ain't gonna be able to get an exit off that. He can get my bumper maybe, but
yeah.
Too aggressive into the corner and losing the rear.
He's causing me to mirror drive a little bit. Yeah.
Much brake bias, got in too deep, spins out.
Now open.
Here we go for green-white attempt number 1. We have 3 attempts at this here tonight. Sam, we might end up using all 3 of these attempts, and who knows what's going to happen. I mean, if you're Dalton Alexander, do you...
Looks like somebody played a little bit of bumper tag with him.
So the 8, what happens behind him with Travis Dart, Brandon Colley? I mean, we saw how deep the 26 drove it in to hold off the 99. This is going to get really interesting here in this first attempt.
So we can
Yeah, it
have
is.
a
I
green
mean,
watch
looking
ticket
at
finish.
the way that these restarts have been, we've been able to at least take 1 lap green, which I think this gives sign we may not have to use all 3 of our restart green-white overtime attempt here tonight. We might only have to use 1 because it is a green-white checkered one. We're here in overtime. Many of these drivers will only have 2 laps to finish out this race, but we have 3 attempts if needed. If the first lap a caution flag comes out, we will go into attempt number 2. Same thing happens at attempt number 2. If a caution flag comes out on that first lap, we will go into attempt number 3. Attempt number 3, slightly different variant on rules. We'll get to that if we need to. But if we get the white flag, with 1 to go, that's when the gloves are off. It is all about who wins this race, who crosses the line first, as no caution flag can be thrown on a white flag. But there have been many a times in the past where a yellow flag has been thrown right before the leaders cross the line to officially take the white flag. So we could see drama like that potentially here on this restart.
We very well could see that drama. And I saw a little bit of a pinch there from the 11 to the 8 coming to that restart zone, trying to pinch the 8 down, time that restart. Didn't get it done quite the way he wanted to, so I expect more aggression from Dalton Alexander on this restart. Travis Dart kind of the wild card there in 3rd place. Brandon Norris, Campbell, all on the front.
What are we up to now? About 26?
Be a quick
24
shootout for these guys. Who's
so it will be 26.
That's going to be the real question here.
As the field waits for the 1 to go marker.
Yeah, Nathan, it's actually kind of helped me not having a bumper. It gives me more clearance back there.
16 back at higher season 3. Tonight, I mean, there was kind of that sense and feeling.
Shout out to whoever took my bumper off.
Way that we knew some drivers are kind of aggressive, and coming to a short track like Martinsville, where aggression can reward you or hurt you, and it is certainly mounted up to a night like this, where drivers are feeling the pain. But can they find themselves getting into victory lane at the end of this evening? Brian McCann, leader currently, the 8. Trying to go for his 5th win this season. Dalton Alexander, the 11 machine, filling in for Tyler Thomas. The Dalton Alexander's been a part-time driver for Texas Speed, and to be another win for that Texas Speed team. Then he got the 26. Travis Dart trying to get the victory lane for himself. Brandon Colley, a win would place him in the playoffs and give him a breath of fresh air. After the bad luck the 99's been feeling. Christopher Norris in 5th, trying to get a 2nd win after winning at Spa. Who's going to get it done here tonight? Could Ken Campbell who's waiting in the wings.
He's ahead of you.
Maybe find some spacing.
He's still ahead of you.
Down to these last couple of restarts. Welcome to overtime. Attempt number.
Yeah, that's an automatic black flag, shouldn't it be?
200. Here we go. It's going to be the final restart of the night. Into the restart zone. Alexander is ahead by a mile. McCann is waiting for forever. And here we go.
What an interesting restart there. McCann gets tapped. He's going to go around from the 26 of Travis.
Oh, he's still straight, and let the carnage rain as he spins.
Yeah, that's a black flag, but it don't matter now.
In overtime, attempt number 1.
He had the position when the yellow flag came out. Let the 3 car by. Let the 27
it's
car
just,
by.
I don't know what happened on that restart, but our field of required damage just ballooned out.
That was fun.
Almost over half the field forced to pit road. That's Brian Wilson.
I don't even know how I wrecked. How did I wreck?
Tony Brett.
Did I get hit or did I just lose talent?
I think you hit the curb.
Of that of David McConnell into pit road.
Oh, cause well, he was coming down on me, wasn't he?
He was coming down on you. Yeah.
Dropped him all the way back to 16th.
And I knew he had a black flag, so I was gonna try to stay off him. I guess I just didn't do it right.
Brandon Colley second, and Ken Campbell on some of the freshest rubber up front in third place.
Yeah, I'm guessing he was gonna sacrifice a black flag for a green-white checker.
Like the 11. I mean, the 11 didn't take.
He gets disqualified unless he goes in and clears it.
On that,
he's done for.
Restart zone, and then Travis Dart just gets into the back of the 8 of McCann. You can see it there, got him loose. Everybody's trying to hang on to it. Colley gets by, and another little tap there from the 26. Kind of sets us all off, and I mean, just,
yeah, 26 gave you a little bit of tap.
39 of Brandon Pierce caught up in that, and I mean, the whole field, Sam, gets caught up in this. I'm still not sure, and it looks like an EOL for the 11.
And with an EOL, I mean, right now, Dalton Alexander is just the carnage of drivers piling in.
He's saying he was pace speed.
And really, it's Dalton Alexander is pleading right now, trying to figure out why am I being penalized. It looked like for Brian McCann, he dropped his speed.
Oh, we gotta let the pace car by.
The 11 was trying to figure out how to react to it. I mean, if he just slowed down, slammed on his brakes, he would have jacked up the whole entire outside lane. Instead, it just becomes calamity, and this is going to be, I mean, this is going to be a very long discussion, as you can just see everyone piling in on, sounds like Steve Benjamin. Yeah, well, to the 11, you can see the start.
Why am I losing a lap here?
It just seems like he's lingering back. The 11's trying to hold steady.
Were you given an EOL?
And drivers have to make the decision. You're either going to run the same.
There's a pace car.
That of positioning, you're looking at your mileage, trying to hold steady mileage for yourself, or the leader might back up.
Or will it give me, oh, it's going to make us pass it here.
We looked at later on after this race, but it looks like penalty might be given to Dalton Alexander and an EOL. That is frustrating for the 11 who's in a lead spot, but they're still having a discussion on what they're going to do on this award, because this is incredible, because you could be finding yourself with Brandon Colley either with the lead, which would be massive for himself on overtime attempt number 2, or Dalton Alexander could be in the lead position here.
Yeah, I mean, it still looks like the penalty is sticking right now. I mean, Alexander pleading his case here.
The 11 got a flag or not?
Leading the field. And I mean, it's not like he did anything wrong. He kept pace speed. It did all he needed to do, and it looks like he's going to
lead his
lead position here.
Broadcast saying that you went below pace speed. That's why he's fighting the EOL.
And there's been no report. There's been no extension.
The rule says a plus and minus 5, I think.
The lead here on this restart. Attempt number 2.
Or 3.
Underway. Dalton Alexander.
He was ahead of
the entire field after thought he was going to get an EOL.
He was ahead of me the entire time when the pace car pulled off.
Brandon Colley, who's getting frustrated.
Yeah, he was.
The meltdown just continues on the 99's luck.
Yeah, and Colley's got to hold off the 15 to King Campbell. I mean, that might be for the race lead, but not going to do it. He's going to lose that position to the 15. Here comes the 38 of Norris. Colley going to drive it in deep, trying to get back to the outside, but Norris going to hold him off. Dalton Alexander in the lead, but with a potential penalty here on the white flag.
And who will take the win? Does it go to Ken Campbell, or does it go to Dalton Alexander? We'll get the reports after the fact, but on the exit turn number 4, Dalton Alexander on a
still got 11
tonight for the Next Level Racing 200. The calculators, the penalties all continue.
Yeah, I see yours says 11.
Because the confusion is still unknown on what the situation.
Again, gotta win.
as Collie showing some frustration, and for Dolan Alexander, not even going to go for the run. Black flag has been given. Ken Campbell is your winner.
Yep.
It's got to be hard.
They just gave the win to Ken.
Brandon Collie, I mean, going to come home in third, but what probably should have been the race win for himself in controversy here at the end of this race, Sam.
It just doesn't make sense why you don't just send him with the penalized, get him out of the way. Instead, you
he was in front of the pace car.
And you give the win to Ken Campbell.
Does
it show what your speed is right there?
It's going to be a long week.
37 right now.
Frustration on the amount of cautions, frustration with maybe some of the calls, but the one thing that we have been
38
now is Ken
37, which is what I was doing previous times.
40?
38, 39. I actually sped up.
With the 99 and a spotlight driver right after this.
40.
Yeah. And here's this little
I got
tap
hit
from the 39. Just tap.
I got hit by the 26. That's what it was. I thought I had help there. Hell yeah.
Yeah. You gotta, I didn't go to the side angle.
But the real reason we lost is Dalton, because, I can't take off at the beginning of that box. Like if I were to take off right here, then he could just wait. And then, it'll still black flag him on it because he's ahead of me. No, he has to, I have to cross the start finish line first. So he can drop back and not get a black flag. But I waited to the end of the box when it went green because he's ahead of me. That's my only option at that point.
Dalton, you were...
Well, he's ahead of you throughout the entire restart box from the first to the second line.
I just watched. I was 41, 42. I got down to 35 right before the corner.
You don't understand it, do you?
I don't think he does.
It's okay if you don't. We can write it out.
Brian was running pace speed. He was running 39.40. Brian did nothing wrong in that entire situation. You just didn't let him catch back up.
Maybe I should have went a little bit, because since I went when it went green, that allowed the 26 to be like right on my bumper going into that turn, and that's why he spun me, because he's like right on my bumper. So he's getting hit by number 38 too. So I mean, I wish he would have backed off a little bit right there, but
elbows up, nothing you can do.
Yeah, I'm not mad about it.
Carnage.
Let's ride on board with.
All right, Brian. Well, I got a 9-week and an 11-week-old puppy that I got to get out before I hit the hay or grab a shower and then hit the hay. So I will see you Thursday if you're around, and then again next week.
Yeah, man. Take it easy.
You too. Have a good night.
Yeah, and I knew that was going to be risky that entire time of us just caution laps and then taking back off. Something like this is bound to happen at some point, especially when it's getting down to the wire. Yeah, since he was so far ahead of me, I should have just took off. Because he was getting a black flag regardless. Unless I got... No. Because if he would have let me cross the start finish... So he could have timed it perfect. I don't know. I think I was just screwed there anyway.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the
And then I thought maybe I could save it, but
this one's gonna be a spicy one.
boy, did it whip back around.
Free to talk to as the Full Send Racing Series.
Felt that curb or something.
Most ever.
The left tire planted, and I was like, oh no.
Is to the max.
I got it straightened out. I was just getting hit in the rear.
Overtime went down. It probably should have been Brandon Colley in the lead position. Instead, Dalton Alexander gets to take the launch, even though he was penalized.
I'll get hit twice.
Which allows the winner to be Ken.
But I mean, ain't nothing you can do right there. Everybody's just piling up.
It's the victory. Ken Campbell, congratulations on your win.
What was that one time he got a good
but how are you
jump on me?
This one after a very long caution-filled event.
Exhausted for going 20 miles an hour the entire race. Yeah, that just the whole thing was, restart central, and I'm very bad at restart.
This one, he got a good jump.
Found a couple of things there that I think I can take for moving forward.
Yeah, he was right there on me and timed it perfect.
Stay out of trouble, and we were worried about the pit. We were worried that we stayed out too late. We came in with 50 to go, and then Zach ended up getting caught up. And we thought he was going to win the race going up for that. He got caught up, and then Norris and I did a pretty good job just kind of, slowly but surely moving forward. And then the stuff there at the end is super unfortunate.
He had a few opportunities if that yellow came out.
I unintentionally stole it, but you can't make me give it back.
I mean, Ken, that's going to be the talking point.
That's where I slid.
Going into next.
He's all over me.
That final restart. I mean, what's going through your head knowing that the 11 has a penalty? Is he going to drop back? Is he going to
caution came out?
I mean, what's going through your mind as you're coming, through 3 and 4, getting ready to come to green?
When did I get that damage? I don't even remember how I got it.
Just a lot of confusion because I was talking to Norris in team chat, and it's like, well, he had a penalty, but he's not dropping back yet. And then he comes over the radio and he's like, yeah, it's going to be.
Oh, it was on a restart after the stage.
I still didn't know if I was going to be lining up behind Colley and him taking the inside or what was going to happen. And I was like, well, it's, say and get ready. So I guess I'm just going to get in behind him and see what happens. And then we're going around and I was like, did I just win? And so Zach popped in. He was like, yeah, you got it. And so, again, hate it for Colley, but yeah, just happened to be right place, right time. And keeping my nose clean is what did it.
Yeah, that was something that I was starting to point out in those
39 just didn't go.
Looked like one of the cleanest vehicles that had the fresh.
Oh, big checkup. Big checkup in front of the 39.
To come into pit road.
Go up here and look at it.
It just seemed like from us up at the booth, it was such an impossible question to answer on when the right time to come into pit road was.
Yeah.
Big stack up. Wow.
Actually, we were going to stay out the entire time. Right when the other guys were pitting, Zach was out front in the clean air, and he was running the fastest laps of the race, not just of his race, but of the entire race. And it's like, well, there's not.
Of course, I got the worst of it.
We hadn't had the fall off, and so I was keeping track of the green flag laps that we had run, and it hadn't been that many. But we knew that McCann was coming, and he was kind of the leader on the fresh tires. And once he got past me for 5th, and I was going to be restarting on the outside, I was like, well, all the fresh tires is going to be behind me, and I'm on the outside, so I'm going to go ahead and pit now. And that's what Norris and Zach, they heard me say that.
Guess I'm out. Later.